Church Street. PrairieLandRental.com.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents the all-new Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Kellen Solar. 35 years of experience moving water from a dugout or well without electricity. Visit KELLNsolar.com to find out more for your livestock operation. Be a part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The all-new Sportscage. Streaming at sportscage.com and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
There we go. It's another week. It's a Sports Cage. Things taste better, smell better, everything's better. Riders won on Friday. What's your favorite? We should get people to just jump in today on a number of things. We got Pick the Score. We're giving away tickets. What is the score coming up this weekend as the Riders take on the Ottawa Red Blacks? Capital Ford Lincoln text line 936-6262. It is Saturday, the game.
Yes.
You pick the score. Closest to... Or no, we're just picking someone today. Colson's going to pick someone today. You're going to walk away with tickets for Saturday in Ottawa. Then
against
closest
Ottawa.
to...
Against Ottawa.
In that... against Ottawa, sorry.
Yeah.
Is going to win a $200 SaskTel gift card. So there's that. We are going to break down and talk as much about the Rider game as possible. If you want to chime in, Colson has fixed the phone lines. We bought minutes. We have some minutes so we can take phone calls if you want to phone in today. It's a win. It's been a long time since we've won a game and things are rolling. It's 1-866-767-0620 or locally 306-936-6262. WHL, SJHL started this weekend. We're going to talk about that. I was at the Regina Pats home opener on Saturday. I'll go through that. This just in, Brandon is a very good ice hockey club. We are going to talk to Dave Thomas. We're going to talk to Farhan Lalji. We got the NASCAR report. Curious to see how the bumping and grinding and all that. What is it called? Rubbing and
racing.
Yeah, bumping and grinding is something else.
Remarkable. Yeah, that's a different program. It's on late night. People, late night is when that one comes on. Remarkably enough, you're doing well in the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually quite shocked at where you are right now.
I need Pokey Reddick to win.
He could.
That's all Tyler.
I know. It's Tyler Reddick.
Tyler
not
Reddick, Pokey's boy.
Yeah, he's not Pokey's boy. Anyway, you are in a good position to win. Yeah.
Okay. Hour 3, Darian Durant is going to join us. Darian picked Calgary, did he not? Everybody in the room here? Colson, Curtis?
I missed that show. Oh, Darian.
I think Darian picked Calgary, so we're going to talk to him about that. Clutch Performer, we're going to the SJHL for that and a whole lot more. Well, I got to tell you, when we talked to Luke on Friday to start the show, I said, quick start, important, Luke? He goes, extremely. Like, so big. If we had the clip, we could play it. And they didn't start quick. It was the exact opposite.
It was the slow start. Let's give them a lead and come back.
I was at an establishment with a bunch of coworkers, and the whole place pretty much was like,
oh.
Well, here we go. That's it.
That's it.
Got to fire Reynolds. Got to fire O'Day. Got to fire Mace. Burn the stadium down. It's just like, oh. And then it's football. It's a football game.
They played 60 minutes.
It's not a one-hole golf shootout. They had time.
Yep.
And
they
then,
fixed it.
Yeah. The weather stunk. We'll talk to Dave in a bit. It didn't show, I think, on TV, if you're watching on TV, or Dave and Luke talked about it, but they didn't talk about it as much, of how gross it was there.
Really?
Like I know a lot of people that
It was cold, right?
I know a lot of people that were going to go to the game, and they just stayed there. Like, no, we're staying at home. It's gross here, and it's got that fall. I had that fall, like windy, cold, damp. And in Calgary, they're a little bit softer.
They are.
So understandable that they stayed at home. They announced attendance. I have it here. Where is it in my notes? I make fancy notes on the weekend. 24,200. There was no way.
They weren't all there.
There was no way. There was 2,400. And I know they got to count season ticket holders, yada, yada. But it was, I would say 14, 15 live bodies.
Well, from the camera angles we had, it looked thin. We're
going to talk to Dave about that.
It was dressed like a chair night.
It was, we got a text message in already here. It was cold and windy and like +5 at the kickoff. It was freezing outside. And again, in Calgary, they the sport coat, skinny jeans, no winter jacket, no toque.
Yeah.
No socks.
No socks.
Here we'd wear boots.
Boots. Put on your boots.
A nice Carhartt maybe.
Yeah.
What do you wear when you go ice fishing?
I sit in a shack most of the time, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay, well, the guys that go ice fishing
out, primitive out there, standing out in the middle of the ice, hoping for the best.
The guys and girls that go outside, they like the Skidoo suit.
Is that the right term? I think
it's a brand.
I think it's winter outerwear.
Snowmobile suit. Sorry if I probably offended somebody out there with the Skidoo suit thing. It is snowmobile suit.
Or you dated yourself, one of the two. Yeah.
But then that doubles really nice when it gets cold at Mosaic Stadium later on.
Put those little heater things in your pocket. Keep your hands warm.
My wife buys those. We used to call them hot pockets. No, hot shots.
Something like that.
Hot shots. And she buys them, puts them in the mitts, and always has this great plan to use them all winter at places.
They don't last that long.
And the kids can use them. And 3/4 of the box always just sits there. No one uses them.
No.
It's like the kids aren't. What you think the kids are going to go play outdoor hockey and hanging on to a hot shot? No. We just put on warmer clothing. But it wasn't very nice weather wise in Calgary. My observation from the game was they played. It looked like they were playing desperate football.
Yeah, and they should have been.
Yeah,
they should have been playing desperate football. It was. Everybody's talking, is it a must-win game? Of course it was a must-win game. They had to win it. If they didn't win it, Edmonton would be 1 point back right now? Come on. We had to win that game. We had to create some space between ourselves, Edmonton and Calgary.
There was a lot of scenarios that could have changed things this weekend with how things are because, yes, Winnipeg beat up on Edmonton.
Yep.
I can't figure it out.
They found the fountain of youth in Winnipeg.
Well, see, I think that they are prime for the picking at some point. Don't get me wrong. Everybody in the West, maybe minus Calgary, seems to be a good football team.
Yeah, everybody's come alive. That's for sure. Yeah.
When it comes to the postseason, I have no idea.
No clue. You know, the postseason, and you're not going to get the crossover this year because Toronto and Ottawa are staying in the mix to eliminate, and Hamilton's right there as well. You can't count them out yet.
So what does Toronto have left? I got the West. I got what's left. Maybe Colson.
What are you looking for?
You're sitting there.
Games?
I want to know what Toronto has left because Toronto is sitting with 14 points. Hamilton is next year country. Calgary's next year country.
I disagree.
You think Hamilton can squeeze in?
I think they can catch Toronto.
So Hamilton. If Hamilton can really do the Riders a solid, okay, there. Good job, Curtis. If you're watching the stream, he's got it up there. I can't see it though. It's
well, that's just the standings.
So that's the standings. Yeah, I wanted the games remaining. Can you whip up a graphic for that quick? Just kidding.
Okay, Winnipeg's at Hamilton.
No. Chkai. Hamilton's in BC this weekend.
Yes. Montreal's at Toronto this weekend.
See, Montreal's banged up.
Yeah, they still seem to be winning.
No, they lost. They tied in Calgary 2 weeks ago, man.
They've never played well in Calgary. Never.
Oh, yeah. Somebody messaged us last week and we said they haven't. And then they're like, what about the Grey Cup or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
What about that time in 1971? I know.
The Tiger Cats We're all huge Tiger Cat fans this weekend.
We are.
In BC, it's a monumental task for them.
Yep.
But Bo Levi Mitchell, speaking of fountain of youth, Bo Levi Mitchell is absolutely slinging it like he's Peyton Manning.
Yep. He looks good.
If he can pull that off.
It's like coveralls he's wearing or whatever, that suit they got him wearing all the time.
Isn't it like a Kelly Rudy headband he wears? So if they could somehow beat BC, then BC stays with 14. We beat Ottawa. We
go to 15.
We bump ahead.
We do.
By 1. But I think most people here would say, hey, you play the odds, fellas.
So BC's got Montreal. That's their last home game, and then they have a bye.
Exactly. So I got it right here. Do you want to play remaining schedule game?
I got the thing open in front of me.
Let's play remaining schedule game. Okay, who do you want first? Do you want to look at BC? Tiger Cats. Probably going to be a win, right? Playing the odds.
Yep.
Okay, win against the Stamps.
And
probably
NBC,
a win.
In BC.
NBC, probably a win.
Then they come here and
They
lose.
come here, we're in our Carhartts.
Yep.
And our winter clothing.
We hope it's nice and chilly that
October
Saturday.
12th. Yes, we do.
Yep.
Not for, ticket sales should still be solid. It's Thanksgiving long weekend. You're going to want to get out of the house.
Whew.
Stuffing.
You're going to be familyed out.
Tryptophan.
Yeah.
Go and watch football.
I'm familyed out just thinking about it. Ugh.
Riders. So that's October 12th. And then the Owls. But the Owls, at that point... So who plays the Owls on the last week here? I have that too. Winnipeg gets the Owls on the last game of the year, October 26th. You would think they could be sitting guys at that point.
I think we watched Winnipeg.
Put your coaching hat on.
Don't sit.
Absolutely, you sit.
No, you don't sit.
So banged up.
No.
So sore.
If they're hurt, yeah. But you don't just sit them because they're they need the day off.
I think you do.
No, you keep the rhythm going. Don't lose the rhythm.
Something stupid happens. Maybe this is why you're not coaching anymore.
It's Winnipeg and Montreal. They could both be sitting.
Yeah.
If they're in first.
They could.
So it could be a very lackluster game.
Yeah, okay, so we're not really worried about Winnipeg. Are we conceding almost that? I know Jeff Fairholm isn't, but are we conceding first place to Winnipeg? Because Winnipeg's got... I screwed something up here because I got Winnipeg plays the Bombers next week. That's
yeah, they do.
Definitely not right. Winnipeg and Edmonton. Winnipeg's got Edmonton this week. Edmonton looking for revenge. I didn't watch that game. Full disclosure.
Winnipeg played pretty well.
Did they?
Yeah, I thought so. I thought they played well. Yeah.
Okay.
More so
even
than
Curtis,
Edmonton played
even
bad.
Curtis is saying.
Yeah,
yes.
Winnipeg played well.
Okay, then Winnipeg's got the Tiger Cats. But that's at the Hammer.
Hamilton. Yep.
So, who knows?
Is that the coffee cup?
People, Then they got the Argos.
And then they got Montreal.
At home. And then Montreal. I think the Riders have darn near the toughest schedule remaining.
Well, I like them at home at Ottawa this week. I do. I think that's, if there was a time to play Ottawa at home, it's now.
Okay.
I like the fact that...
I would like them on week 1.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway.
Right? BC's coming here. We got to go to Edmonton. We got to go to Calgary. To me, we get 3 wins in there. We're getting 3 out of 4.
We could get 4 out of 4. Anything could happen.
Yeah.
But it was like the world caving in. I want some of these people to text back in.
Where's the person that texted in that we didn't need to change running backs?
Didn't need to change running backs.
The Frankie Hickson was awesome, and we shouldn't change running backs.
Where is I'm never watching this team again guy?
Yeah. Where'd he go?
I want that guy to send a message back in because he was probably watching.
Can
that
we
game
give out
on
his
Friday.
number? Can we give out his number? Oh, okay.
No.
I want to give out his number.
936-6262. You might as well play pick the score while you're at it. Let us know. What are you thinking here? The Riders' remaining schedule, everyone's remaining schedule, and just where things are sitting for the green and white. And Calgary playing for Are we playing for jobs? They're playing for next year.
They're playing for jobs.
I don't think they care anymore.
I don't know if you heard that the argument that took place in the Calgary dressing room after the game.
No, I did not.
Oh, it was quite a to-do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Spill the beans.
There was a little dust up there amongst some players.
Oh, Knuckles?
Yeah, I don't know if there's knuckles, but there was lots of bad language.
A push and a shove?
Yeah, I think there was push and shove. There was a had to get together or get them apart.
Good.
Media witnessed.
We need BC to do that.
Yeah,
we need that in the BC locker room. We need them fighting.
We need BC to go, we don't like one of these two quarterbacks.
We need Rourke and
other
VA to get it on.
I don't think they're going to do it.
No, they won't. And then Amar Doman step in the middle.
I think Calgary might be completely discombobulated.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're going to want to
play. We can't count on them for anything.
But it is hard to think about, like, when you really put it in perspective here. When did Armstead actually hit the field for the first time with the Riders? What day was that?
Like Tuesday, wasn't it?
David's probably listening right now, and he's probably like, "It's this day." I know, Dave.
I think it was Tuesday they signed him.
Quick, Dave. He comes in. Darian said, well, no, because Darian talked about it. So I think they signed him on Monday. Tuesday, he might have been on the field.
That's right.
If I'm wrong, Dave will message you right away and let me know. And then, so like Darian said, we'll talk to Darian again because Darian was wrong about the Calgary winning, but Darian was right that you can bring in a running back off the street and just say, here's your hole, here's a gap, here's this,
run left,
boom, boom,
run
boom.
right. Yep.
Go. And he kind of talks about it in the post-game interview. We're going to hear that in a bit. He talks about that, but still, to go off the way he did, and he runs hard.
He does. The legs are moving. I love the legs moving, and the offensive line just got into it and said, "We'll push you. We'll get you there, baby. Let's make it happen." I was impressed.
That offensive line deserves some sort of award this year too.
Oh, like
Logan Furland.
Like, it's 2 busloads of offensive linemen we have. Like, there's so many.
They don't even know what's your name again?
As the coaching assistant, ever won Coach of the Year? Because our offensive line coach could definitely get it.
You would think so. I think Jeremy O'Day's GM of the Year just for finding all these guys to play on the offensive line.
We have a coach's show today. It's the defensive line coach, though. They can still win an award. It's amazing that he comes into and it's fourth. It was the fourth largest total in Rough Rider history.
That's nuts.
That blew me away because I was like, I knew it would be up there. Like that's a lot of yards, but for 207, and I was like top 10.
Here's something to be said for not knowing the playbook when you're playing running back. And they go, you're going left off tackle. You're going left behind the guard. He doesn't know that maybe that is designed a specific way. He's just hitting the hole and finding the next bit of daylight. He's not just following what he's supposed to follow all the time. He's went, I go left, great. There's a hole. I'm gone. So maybe there was a bit of an advantage for him not knowing the playbook and being able to just run to daylight.
I think it was the old... I was on my couch last week, unemployed, and now I got another shot here. I am putting everything on the line.
There's a lot to be said for playing football over working at Timmy's. Yeah.
Or wherever.
Wherever.
Cabela, selling Carhartts.
The real question that Barney will be excited for. Over under 207 yards next week. It's against his former team.
Oh, is that ever a good question, Coulson?
Coulson, nice work.
It's against his former team. If anything, that hypes you up more, right?
Well, also, though, they might know his tendencies.
True.
But he's got a bee in his bonnet. He does. He didn't do a bad job for them. It was a personality issue, a conflict that's the reason he was gone from there. All right, 207 over under.
Maybe the coach will put on, for the Red Blacks, will put on $100 on the old days. Yeah, whoever keeps him whatever group I got to put a few in when it comes to football. Keep him to under 50 yards.
I think it'll be a challenge for Ottawa. I think he's going to run like a man possessed.
You know what? Again, never paid super close attention to him when he was in Ottawa.
Neither did I. Couldn't pick him out of a room at 2.
But he runs hard. So does AJ Ouellette.
Yep.
Like not taking anything away from that, and not taking anything away from Hickson as well. Like the guy did serviceable work for us. Good shifty little back.
Yep.
But this move, so yeah, all you O'Day hecklers out there, after that win, where are you?
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Where'd you go?
Pretty quiet.
Shh. It's very quiet. Very quiet.
You know, and then Coach Mace. You can be hard on the coaches, as you're a fan. You have the right. Again, I like to say, put it in perspective. Put yourself the first year head coach. Yeah, not first year coach, first year head coach. Mm-hmm. There's a lot there. And you are in the absolute pressure cooker that is Saskatchewan, where people lose their minds over everything, as we've seen. So there's a lot of pressure there. After the game, let's just run it here. You can sense the weight off his back and chest as he talks to Luke Mulder.
We got Coach Mace here. This has got to feel good. I heard a little bit of the commentary here as you were in the locker room. Talk about what you are feeling for the guys right now.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy for these guys, man. They work their tails off. I know it hasn't been the results maybe in the prior weeks for us, but you know these guys, their work ethic is outstanding, and they want it just as bad as Rider Nation. So I'm happy for these guys in here. I thought they came out, they was ready to play to the echo of the whistle, the last one as always. But what a performance specifically from the offense, man.
Yeah, the offense managed to just pretty much come out there and be consistent all the way through. I got a couple scenarios for me. I don't know if you remember the last time we were together, you talked about some of the things that you wanted to do personally as a coach in the bye week, and one of them was crowd. Talk about the final drive of the first half, man. There was about 1:21 left on the clock, and that probably went as good as it is drawn up.
Yeah, no, it was perfect, man. You know, we thought that we were able to move the ball pretty well. We knew, too, with the wind, there was a chance there that in the defer that we were going to take the win in the fourth. So we want to steal some points there before the half. And offense did an outstanding job. Mueller dialed it up, and they executed, man, all the way down to the last second. So extremely proud of the offense, how they handled that. Those are situations we practice every single week, and it looked like it did in practice.
You know, obviously coming out in the second half, huge emphasis on execution. Calgary came out and scored right away, but you had 3 consecutive drives where you needed to respond to a Calgary score to open that second half. Talk about what went right from your standpoint.
Yeah, you know, that was the you know, we were hoping to go 2 and out defensively right away as we took the win in the fourth, you know, and then unfortunately Calgary went down there and scored, but the offense had to battle back and it gave us some confidence, man. So again, you know, defensively, you know, there's gonna be a lot of things we're gonna look at and got to work on, but I can't speak enough. You know, this offensive line. You know, the circumstances that they've been put in, the multiple guys have been wearing that S on the side of their helmet at that position, and you know, to have Q come in here, Armstead come in here, you know, within the week and put out that kind of performance, that's kudos to the coaches, you know, Coach Ed, Coach Vitale, Coach Mueller, you know, Coach Quay, receivers got a block, and all of these dang players over there on offense were just committed to it, man. It was excellent to see.
Coach, you finished this game. 5:57 left in the fourth quarter. You guys are up 5. You need to run the clock. You need to continually put first downs on the board, and you executed. And you mentioned it. The receivers, they blocked their tails off all game.
Yeah, I mean, that's you know, that's one of the biggest things for us is the intangibles of, you know, we know we got guys who can catch the ball, but we got to block on the perimeter. Point of emphasis for us, you know, each and every week. And those guys went out there. You know, Dell, Duncan, Busby came in there and had to play. You know, Joe went down early, and he had some outstanding blocks. You know, all the way down to, you know, Sean Bain and everybody else. Man, it was a team performance, and you know, I don't want to take anything away from, you know, their ability to catch the ball and Trevor lacing it up there for those guys. But the run game was a beautiful thing of beauty.
You lost to Joe early. You mentioned that already, but how did you guys come off the injury situation for the rest of the game?
Yeah, I think outside of that, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, of course, I haven't talked to any of the trainers yet, but I think that was the only one. But, you know, we'll see how serious that was. and maybe we get a Joe back here in the coming weeks. But other than that, I thought we came out pretty clean, and specifically for a physical game, I thought that's good news for us.
One more question, man. So what's the key? I mean, you get a running back in 4 days, and he goes and runs off the 4th best game in Rider history for a running back. Like, what were some of the things that you guys knew you had to do with a guy that hasn't been in the scheme for more than a week?
Yeah, I think the coach is spending time with him and his commitment to learning the playbook and getting comfortable and, talking to his teammates. And, even if we had to simplify, Mueller had to simplify some things. And, just having the O-line trust that, you got a kid back there that's going to work his tail off. As you guys can see, it's not easy to bring down. All things that he put on tape, prior to becoming a Rider, right? So it was good. It was really good to see that. We've been talking about a point of emphasis for us is trying to solidify the run game a little bit, and I thought we did that tonight, man. Proud of the guys.
Hey, man, great job. Big win in front of a tough team at home. Congrats, Coach.
Hey, man, much love to you. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, just pressure off for a bit.
Yeah.
Only for a bit, though.
You only get the week.
No practice today. Dave Thomas is going to join us. We're going to talk about a number of things. But, so they're back at it tomorrow. Don't forget, defensive line coach Philip Daniels is joining us in hour 2. Darian Durant in hour 3. We are playing SaskTel. Pick the score, 936-62-62. Colson is going to pick from the wheel of winning, and you're going to walk away with 2 tickets to the game Saturday against the Ottawa
Red Blacks.
Roughriders. They should do a third. And when they come play here.
Well, they still do the big R on their helmet like before, so I like it.
I don't mind it. I think it used to be kind of cute for the league. 2 Rough Rider teams. 936-62-62. Give away those tickets. Also a chance to win a SaskTel gift card, all thanks to our friends at SaskTel. If you're watching the stream, sportscage.com. And as always, we're on the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM.
The all-new Sports Cage is brought to you by Sherwood Co-op Liquor Stores. Now open in Harbor Landing and Rochdale Boulevard.
Listen weekdays at noon for Saskag Today on 620 CKRM with your host Ryan Young along with Doug Falconer and Kevin Hirsch, offering the most extensive agricultural news coverage with precision weather meteorologists. In an industry that moves fast, stay updated with the latest, most reliable information in ag news, prices and trends, all in one place. Available anytime at saskagtoday.com. Saskag Today, your trusted source for all things agriculture on 620 CKRM.
Howdy, it's your old pal Wood Country Woody here. Building a fence or corral? Of course you are. That's why y'all need to be seeing the good folks down at Wood Country. Wood Country's your one-stop fencing shop with everything you need right now. Peeled rails, slabs, rough-cut lumber, fence posts, and barbed wire. Get on into Wood Country. Post haste. In McLean, Estevan, and Tisdale.
Your home is your castle.
Shop online, wood-country.com.
Sorry, summer's over. Which means the massive 3-day Sorry, Summer's Over sale starts Friday at Sherwood Co-op Home Center. Save 15% off all regular priced items in store, including lumber, outdoor Crackle Pillar Fountain. Regular $129.99, now only $39.97. Scott's Fall Fertilizer, $32.010. 5 kilograms, now just $17.97. Sherwood Co-op Home Center's Sorry, Summer's Over sale starts Friday, 615 Winnipeg Street North. Limited quantities, no rain checks.
Regina Pats hockey is back, and that net is wide open to renew your plates. When you take that big slap shot, do it online with Dusick and Barlow. Request a quote for anything you need. It's a true breakaway, and as easy as it is for the Pats to score that winning goal. When it comes to online plate renewal, there's no high sticking involved, just the most valuable players in the game. Your local Regina insurance brokers, Dusick and Barlow. Local owners, local business, saskinsurance.com.
Hi, I'm Deb Davies with the Saskatchewan Foster Families Association, and we're actively recruiting new foster homes in your area. Fostering is all about families helping families, and our team is with you, providing ongoing training and support. We invite caring families of all types to imagine fostering. It's a rewarding way to make a meaningful difference in a child's life. Have you ever considered becoming a foster parent? Please reach out today at saskfosterfamilies.ca.
Welcome back to the all-new Sports Cage. Connect with the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262.
It is Monday, and it's for Kellen Solar out in Lumsden. They can get your water from a well or a dugout to where you need it without electricity.
Pretty cool.
That's important. I've never been a cattle rancher, surprisingly.
Of all the things you've missed out on.
Don't I look like a cattle rancher if you're watching the stream? Dave Thomas is laughing.
That west side of Saskatoon.
I wrangled a few heifers. Okay, anyway. 35 years of moving water from wells and dugouts.
You can't say that.
I did. Okay, so the Riders this weekend against Ottawa. Let's bring in Dave, because Dave might know how to say this properly. Have you seen the new logo?
Yes.
For the new Indigenous design logo, it's going to be on the helmets this weekend. It's going to be all over the broadcast. It's going to be in the stadium. The logo was designed by Chris Chipak from the Red Pheasant Cree Nation. Shout out, Treaty 6. I know some guys from Red Pheasant. Used to have a really good fastball.
There's some hockey players
fastball players from around there.
Yeah.
I think Ryan Baptiste was from around there.
Yep.
Absolute beautician. And the Watney boys. Anyway, this logo looks awesome.
I think it's fantastic. I think it's very well done.
Yeah. If they are selling this thing in the team store there.
Easy sell.
Very easy. They haven't taken me up on my idea, though, of the what's the jersey without the name? Why am I drawing a blank here? The guy that played both sides of the ball.
Oh.
Mario Alford.
No. The lineman.
Dave, help us.
The lineman.
Who played Micah Johnson?
There you go. There you go.
Jeez. They should sell the double jersey.
Like the 4 on the front, 57 on the back?
Yeah, and no name bar. I think there's something there. Maybe it's in a T-shirt form. Maybe I'm crazy. Dave, this logo. I know you were a bit of an artist back in the day at Weyburn Comprehensive High School. Sharp. I saw the Toronto one. Toronto one's all right. I don't want to, say that their artist wasn't as good as our artist, Chris Chipak, but it's a nice logo. And I didn't know it was going to be on the helmets.
Well, say that I'm biased, but I think it's the best looking one in the CFL for Saskatchewan Day coming up on Saturday.
Saskatchewan.
We were way off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, the merchandise you can order now through the Riders store, and it'll be here in time for the game.
The Stamps one's pretty good, but the Rider one's better.
All right, David. First off, let's talk about Let's talk about the weather on Friday. How do you paint the picture for what it was like there? Because we have some Calgary people texting in. I know some people that did not go to the game. They actually had tickets, and they were like, "Nope, too cold."
Better than expected, because we were calling for precipitation throughout the football game, and we were anticipating the temperature to get down to the low single digits, like +3, +4 degrees or so, but it wasn't bad. The rains actually stopped prior to the pregame warm-up, actually prior to us even arriving at the ballpark, which is 3 hours before kickoff. So the rain was done. It was partly sunny. It was a little bit blustery, but we had about 10 degrees or so, and by the time the game started, the wind was out of the northwest, gusting at about 25 kilometers an hour, and the temperature was about 9 degrees. So it wasn't terrible, but it was the last, summer night, if you will, looking at the calendar.
Yeah. When we look at what Armstead did running the football, obviously no one predicts he's going to walk away with that number at the end of the game. When you're watching it from up in the booth as the game's going along, what catches your eye to say, whoa, this guy's really onto something? Was it the blocks? Was it the holes? Or because it just sounded like a violent runner.
He can hit the hole very hard. Absolutely. When he gets to the line of scrimmage, he's at full speed. It's 2 strides and boom, he's there, right? His acceleration is gigantic. But what really struck me, and Luke said it, I don't know, probably half a dozen times. I haven't listened to the entire broadcast back just yet, but he said every time we go into the personnel with Albert Awachi on the field, we have run the ball 100% of the time. And Calgary refused, for whatever reason, to go ahead and do what every other team has done against the Roughriders this season, and that's stack the box. Bring up their linebackers, bring in an extra defensive lineman by going ahead and putting in extra bodies, making the Roughriders play extra physical. And for whatever reason, the Calgary Stampeders were unwilling to do that. And again, it absolutely floored Luke, who said, well, Albert Awachi's in, so we're going to run the football again. And again, I, of course, give credit to Luke because he can point that out well before I did. But then when I'm even noticing it, I'm like, someone may want to catch this here, and Calgary just refused to stop them. And they were so afraid that Trevor Harris would pick them apart defensively that they refused to go ahead and load up the box. Nothing against the performance which Armstead did, which was nothing short of sensational.
Makes me wonder, though, what Luke was wearing. Best dressed color commentator in the CFL.
How do you
with
get
that weather? Seems like turtleneck and corduroy pant weather.
No, it was not turtleneck weather.
Okay.
No, but
sorry.
I did. It's
I'm
funny.
Off. I'm off.
It is humorous because I had the windows to the booth open, and after I went to get a cup of coffee, the windows to the booth were closed. So I don't know who made that executive decision, but I'm the rookie, and I wasn't going back there.
Dave, the part that I loved about Armstead's running is he was carrying guys. Like the Calgary linemen and linebackers were on him going for a ride. Like you talked about, Calgary didn't do anything to try to prevent that when Awachi was in there, but they couldn't stop him anyway. He was carrying guys down the field.
Absolutely. And you could tell that his legs were fresh, right? Like he had a couple of weeks off. And I agree with what you guys were talking about earlier, saying that he was super motivated. But the thing to me that I thought really stood out about the performance was that, and again, I hate the fact that people have reputations, because to me, I'm always the giver of the second, third, fourth, fifth chances, always. And to me, when this reputation preceded him coming in, I was like, okay, well, we'll see what happens here. And Coach Mace, the one time that he got into a little bit of a pushing match after a pretty good run, Coach Mace just talked to him and boom, it was taken care of. Everything was settled, done, over with. The way we went on, we played football. So that's what impressed me, is that whether the reputation was warranted or not, Armstead definitely went ahead and was focused on football and didn't let any of the other small stuff get to him in any way.
It's talked about in football a lot. NFL, college down south, they talk about third and manageable. Luke was on the show on Friday, and he just said, and we both talked about, the Riders they need second and manageable, because then you got the running play and you got the quick release.
Yep.
Right? And a lot of people out there that haven't played the game and watch it, now they're going to be like, it kind of opens up so many things. And that's what Armstead gave Dave, right? That's one of the first things I was noticing in that game. And I'm like, oh, here we go again, second and manageable.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something the Riders wanted to be their identity throughout the course of the season, was the fact that they wanted to establish themselves on first down. For whatever reason, it hasn't worked right. Coming into the ball game on Friday night, the Riders were actually dead last when it came down to yardage gained on first downs. They were averaging 5.6 yards per first down. Now, again, the top team in the league, who was BC, they were averaging over 7. So you can see that discrepancy, right? And what the difference is going to be in your play calling and play selection, and how much of the playbook you have available to you when you're in those manageable situations. And I haven't got the final numbers down, but the Riders were well over 6.5 yards on first down. So well above their season average. And of course, putting themselves in good spots to succeed.
So, Dave, I got a question for you. And as I watched the whole game, or most of the game, I didn't see any injuries, any serious injuries, especially along the offensive line. How did we come out of the game health-wise, do you think?
Well, cross your fingers, guys, but this looks like, for the first time in 2024, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, for a third consecutive week, will have the same starting offensive lineman. So there you go. It looked like the offensive line stayed intact. The biggest injury that is of concern is Joe. He left in the first quarter, did not return. Coach Mace said it sounded like they could get him back in a couple of weeks, if I'm quoting him appropriately, following the football game. So Joe was a blow, but Del Duncan Busby, who was a higher draft pick than Joe, but then again, Joe is not a 7th-round draft pick in the CFL. Anyways, that's a different argument for a different day. But Del Duncan Busby, I thought, came in, got his reps in, and did did reasonably well. It'll be interesting to see how he can grow, because one of the big attributes that I think that Joe has done that has really separated himself from a lot of players in the game is his ability to block in the run game. So we'll see whether or not Dale Duncan-Busby can start filling those shoes.
Yeah, he's a Joe, right? Early on, maybe even the preseason game. It's like, oh, this kid's going to be able to block. This
you've been hyping him all year.
Yeah, I was going to get the jersey.
Yeah, you're on the
and then
you're on the bandwagon.
I went with an obsidian green hoodie and shirt instead. But maybe there's still time.
One with Micah Johnson's number 4 and the other one with his offensive line number, or what?
Yeah,
Micah Johnson.
Go 457.
Dual threat. It says somewhere in there. You know, someone messaged in here, Dave, and they're like, it's actually quite funny. Minor football practices more than these guys now. Riders have a day off today. It's how it is. The thing is, it's not a day off. I was at the taking the Rugrats to hockey yesterday, and the Rider parking lot part where the coaches and all the staff full. So they're working. They're putting in the time. I'm sure the players are there getting rehab, working on film even. Right, Dave?
Well, and I can tell you the team was given a break. Absolutely. They didn't have to go in at 11 a.m. on Saturday morning. They got to wait until 1 p.m. So there's no days off for the team, right? Like they're working their tails off. And again, they've continued to do that. And I say in jest, it'll be interesting to see their approach and how it comes this week, because they want to do everything the same that they can. And Trevor Harris said it best post game when he said, you know what, we got approach next week, and you should not be able to tell whether we won or lost the week before when we're doing our work. And I think that's going to be a testament. We'll see what happens on day 2 and whether or not they get ran off the field by the head coach again. But hopefully that's well in the rearview mirror now.
Trevor Harris. How many? What was? Let's go to the stat line here. Because that when we started the show, Sharky, and we were talking, I was like, the Riders just looked desperate, and it was almost like they were playing playoff football. Harris, 3 for 17, the 1 touchdown. There was a couple times he took off there, and I was like, "Whoa, Trev! What are you? Whoa, Trev!
Stop!
Whoa, big guy!
Stop!
Big guy! Take it easy." But again, desperate, right? And that, again, your quarterback's always your leader, and if that guy's showing it and that guy's doing it, there's
no reason for everybody else to sit out.
Yeah. Hop on.
Well,
yeah.
Controlled desperation, I would say, right? Because desperate times can lead to desperate measures and real desperate mistakes. So controlled desperation can lead you to take that next step, right? And live right on the edge of where you're pushing it, but you're also having success. And the one thing that I was smiling about with Trevor Harris was he was kind enough to share with me, his dad never wanted him to be a quarterback. And like he was bitter to the fact that Trevor was going to pursue becoming a quarterback. So he said, here are the 2 rules. Number 1, you never, ever slide. And number 2, you never lay on the field. And so Trevor Harris, that's why he didn't slide. He goes, when I was in Toronto, they were going to send me over to the Blue Jays to teach me how to slide because I had no idea because my dad told me not to.
Well, his dad did well. His dad did well.
Yeah. His dad. What'd you get for Christmas? A kicking tee. What's my dad trying to tell me here? Hang on, Dave. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to keep you here. I want to run by a few other things by you. It's the all-new Sportscage. If you're watching the stream, you see Dave there. We're at sportscage.com. You see Sharky as well. And as always, we're on the home of the Rider, 620 CKRM.
First Nations University of Canada invites you to join their annual Smudge Walk to honor the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation on September 27th at the First Nations University of Canada, Regina campus. The day starts with a pipe ceremony at 8 a.m. and the walk through the First Nations University of Canada and University of Regina campuses begins at 9:30. Presentations and special announcements will follow with a community lunch on campus at noon. The first 200 people attending will receive an orange Every Child Matters t-shirt. We hope to see you there.
Down here at Heartland Livestock Moose Show, we're still selling cows and bulls every Thursday. As we get ready for the fall run, these cow prices continue to look very promising. Our first red and black Angus pre-sorted sale is October 1st. These sales always seem to fill up fast, so make sure you don't miss out on the bookings. Make sure to check out our Facebook page and website for any updates. Don't be afraid to give us a call at 692-2385. Get top dollar for your cattle and get them sold at Heartland Livestock Moose Jaw.
Hey Rider Nation, this is Dave Thomas, voice of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Listen to this. How does a 50-50 payday sound? Sounds like a win to me. Huddle up to riders5050.ca and you can purchase 50-50 tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can even score quickly with the early bird prize. This week it's $2,500 cash. And you'll be in for the massive weekly jackpots. Buy now at riders5050.ca and support amateur football in Saskatchewan. Sponsored by ISC. License LR 2426.
Hi folks, Tim from Young's Equipment, your genuine Case IH parts and service dealer. Harvest is moving fast, so let's plan for next year. There has never been a more critical time to have your equipment ready. Book winter inspections on Case IH combines, tractors, and sprayers. Take advantage of our reduced inspection pricing, 10% off all genuine Case IH parts installed with the inspection. Special trucking rates and Young's loyalty program. Slots are filling fast. Contact Young's Equipment to avoid disappointment. Check youngs.ca today. Conditions apply.
The all-new Sportscage is live streaming from our Century Studios in downtown Regina. Watch now at sportscage.com. Be part of the show by texting 306-936-6262. 620 CKRM.
Real life going on downtown Regina here on this Monday for Kellen
Right outside
Solar.
the window, like right here.
So that whole segment that we were talking to Dave, if you were just listening to that, there is a massive police presence on the street right in front of the studio. Colson, you give a little play-by-play what you saw.
So I saw a man on a bike.
The perp.
Yeah.
Perpetrator.
He was wearing a mask, so I didn't see much else than that.
Of course,
but
yeah.
He hopped the corner of the curb, like where it comes down to street level.
Like a bunny hop?
Yeah. Hops the corner of the curb and comes from, what is this again, 12th onto Rose, going the wrong direction on a one-way. And there's a police SUV full
There's
lights.
3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, well, there was one right behind him, chasing him. Heads down the street the wrong way, and I pop up out of my chair just to look around the corner, and all I saw was another cop coming the other direction and the bike falling over between them, and I thought I should get back to my desk. So
live action news from here in the studio.
I'm going to tweet it.
Live news.
What we got here. Yeah, no, Colson, good account. That's live on location reporter Colson Schultz here on the Sports Cage. Back to us in the studio. Real life stuff, Dave. That's why if you're watching the stream, we came back and I wasn't at my chair because I'm like, what is going on? There's like 10 cop cars. It's exciting, exciting stuff.
I thought they were coming after you after hearing that you were chasing down a bunch of heifers.
Yes.
Dave.
Big bunny hop guy. Okay, I kept you on here because I want to talk to you. I don't know if it was your first, but you were at the Regina Pats home opener on Saturday. Regina Pats fall 5-1 to the Brandon Wheat Kings. Let's go to Dave. Let's be honest here. The sportscage.com WHL Eastern Division power rankings last week. Brandon is right. Brandon was second, right?
Yep.
Behind Medicine Hat.
Yep.
Brandon's missing their top defenseman and their starting goalie.
Wow.
Brandon's a good hockey team, Dave.
Oh, that's an understatement. Brandon is a quick hockey team. Roger McQueen, a kid out of Saskatoon who I've coached against. I never had a chance to be on the same team. That probably says a lot right there. But he is a beauty, just how quick he can move and the decisions that he was making on the ice. That said, the Regina Pats played with him for the first 2 periods, and I thought they took an unfortunate penalty when they got a little over-aggressive going towards the goal, and then that lack of discipline kind of cost them as Brandon was able to get some separation by using their special teams. But all in all, it wasn't a bad hockey game for sure.
And Huey in Regina's net made some really good saves to keep it close when they needed. Now Regina Pat fans or WHL fans, Pats are without the Vaughns.
Yep.
And Tanner Howe.
Yep.
So
some of their leadership's missing as well, and their skill. So they're going to be playing some young guys for the time being. But the Pats aren't as bad as everybody makes them out to be. I don't know why everybody's got them so low in the conference and everything else. I think they're going to be in the mix. I really do. I don't have them that far down myself. And Brandon, yes, they're going to be good. So is Medicine Hat, but the Pats are going to be right there.
I was impressed with the system play that they had. Like, obviously, they got some great coaches because you could see the system play that has been implemented by the Pats, and the players were following it really well. Like, there was a couple of breakdowns, which you're going to see, right, from time to time, but there definitely wasn't panic. And like I said, there obviously was a purpose to what the Pats were putting on the ice, and I thought that was impressive for regular season game number 2, because how often have these guys actually played with each other in the preseason, right?
And I know we got a few text messages in already. You've gotten some messages. I've gotten some messages. Not the home opener crowd that anyone would want. And what people are saying, though, it's expensive. So I don't know if the Pats are going to juggle that at some point. I think there's a lot of to take a kid, you're buying a regular ticket.
There are lots of opportunities for you to go through various sponsors to get tickets.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Safeway still has their plan where you can get tickets for them. I think this is a Pat sponsor, not a radio sponsor, but right. So you got to watch for those opportunities to get the discounted tickets. I know there's group packages if you're trying to take your team, or you've got an event that you want to take the kids to. So you got to look for those sponsorships that are out there that the Pats have that are going to prevent you with those opportunities to take your kids.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would just like to see a $12, $15 kid ticket.
A seat's a seat.
Well, Barney, you bought my ticket, so I was very thankful for that. And then my kid bought me a tub of popcorn. So what didn't I like about the afternoon?
Oh, yeah. Butter? Layered?
Oh,
what did he?
Had to get her done. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. No, and then you wash it down with a Sprite. Something about Brent Center popcorn and a Sprite. For me, didn't suck you into the mini donuts, so.
They tried hard. I was still reeling from the day before at McMahon after a three-game feast.
What restraint? No, with the Pats, though, they open up in PA with a victory. Defending WHL champ Moose Jaw Warriors 0-2 to start the year. They're missing some bodies as well.
Yeah.
Saskatoon. What was they put up some goals in the
9.
Yeah. Saskatoon blasting. And then in the SJHL, we're going to talk about it later. Our clutch performers coming from the SJHL. Yorkton, good start for the Terriers out there. They've put up some numbers too. Like I said, that's a tease for the clutch performer later.
Look at you with your heifer stories and teases.
It's all about the teases. Okay, Dave, if you want some entertainment, drive downtown here because the
Rose Street's busy.
Regina's finest are still TCB, taking care of business over there. Always a pleasure. Let's talk tomorrow.
Well, I bet you the guy's going to need Jackie Chan as his lawyer, so look out.
Oh yeah. Here we go.
Yeah.
Jackie Charles, not Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan's the actor.
Charles. Yeah.
I had the first name right. Give me 50%. Half marks. I got through high school.
Big kung fu guy. All right, Dave. Talk to you tomorrow. Dave Thomas, voice of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. It's the Monday edition for Kellen Solar. If you're watching the stream, we're having lots of fun. Sportscage.com, and as always, we're on 620 CKRM.
Your Co-op Grow team are your local experts because we live here too. Our agronomic specialists stay up to date with the latest research and technology to help support your entire farm operation. Talk to our team for advice tailored to your farm's needs. We have recommendations to help you optimize your crop yield and quality while enhancing the health of your land. Co-op, we're all growing together. Here for your farm, here for your family. Learn more at coop.crs/farm.
The government just asked us to save the world. They'll do it. They've made a few requests, so they want you to bring back floppy disks, pet rocks, and they all want Glasser's TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer.
Well, that last one we can do. You don't want to miss a thing. That's why at Glasser's TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer, they have so much to offer, like SaskTel wireless internet. Contact Glasser's TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Moosomin today.
Farm equipment keeps getting bigger and bigger, so the doors on your farm buildings have to keep up. Hi, I'm Terry from Zipperlock Building Company. At Zipperlock, our buildings can accommodate up to a 24-foot high door without expensive changes to the building's steel arch design. So when it comes to farm equipment storage, Zipperlock is head and shoulders above the competition. Zipperlock Building Company, built in hours to last a lifetime. See us in Raymore or call 1-888-692-5515.
It's 4 o'clock. Good afternoon. It's mostly cloudy and it's 18 degrees in Regina. I'm Corey Atkinson from the Harvard Media News Center with 620 CKRM News for Sherwood Co-op Liquor Store, now open in Harbor Landing and on Rochdale Boulevard, and by Mercedes-Benz Regina, for those who can. Mercedes-Benz-Regina.ca. Grain workers at terminals in Metro Vancouver are set to go on strike tomorrow. The union representing the workers says a 72-hour strike notice was served to the Vancouver Terminal Elevators Association, noting the company invested very little effort during last week's negotiations. A statement from the association says it couldn't come to an agreement on a new contract after mediated talks ended in August without a deal. The union has been in a strike position since last Thursday. The Agricultural Producers Association of Saskatchewan is alarmed by the potential disruptions caused by the Metro Vancouver workers issuing a 72-hour strike notice. APAS President Ian Boxall expressed concern, calling for government action to protect the integrity of the supply chain. While grain loading is considered essential under the Canada Labour Code, this does not apply to terminal workers. APAS is urging the Labour Minister to facilitate a member vote to avoid further damage to the agricultural sector. 2 years ago, the Sask Party government launched its Human Resources Action Plan. With an election call just days away, the government wants to talk about its successes. Almost every province is short-staffed for health care, so there's increased competition for workers, nurses, doctors, and other specialists. The plan invested more than $300 million into the 4 key pillars: recruit, train, incentivize, and retain. Health Minister Everett Hindley says they have made plenty of progress, but there is still work to be done.
We know there's more work to do. There's still we still have some temporary service disruptions out there. We have facilities are not running it to their optimal nature, I guess you could say. But we're up to that challenge and want to make sure that we continue to support that healthcare system here in our province.
As part of that train pillar, the Ministry of Education says it has created 870 training seats at 33 healthcare programs at post-secondary facilities across the province. And it used to be that musicians put out a greatest hits compilation to wind up their careers. Old Dominion singer Matthew Ramsey says that's not the case by releasing Oldies But Goodies.
It feels like a launching point for us, really. You know, it's not necessarily that we're closing any type of chapter or anything, but like I said, we definitely have reached a point where we're like, wow, look at what we've done, and look what our fans like really get to dig into, and it's really shown up for us at the shows. You know, people bring signs and they make requests, and they're always some sort of deep cut.
Old Dominion has already started work on a new album. Oldies But Goodies is out now. That's your 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com. Weather is next.
Style, performance. Upgrade your daily driver to the new 2023 Mercedes-Benz GLB 250. This SUV packs a punch with features that make a normal drive exhilarating. The ultimate in automotive luxury can be yours for $419 bi-weekly. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Mercedes-Benz Regina will help you find the exact model you want. Take a test drive and feel the difference. Stop by for an award-winning experience at Mercedes-Benz Regina, recipient of the Star Dealer Award.
Sorry, summer's over. Which means the massive 3-day Sorry, Summer's Over sale starts Friday at Sherwood Co-op Home Center. Save 15% off all regular priced items in store, including lumber. Home-based garage mat, 7 by 21 feet, regular $399.99. Now only $169.97. All in-stock patio furniture sets, now 50% off. Sherwood Co-op Home Center's Sorry, Summer's Over sale starts Friday, 615 Winnipeg Street North. Limited quantities, no rain checks.
And now it's time for your 620 CKRM Precision Weather Forecast for Line-X Regina. Serious protection, killer looks, 1865 McCarra Street, and brought to you by Wolf Industries, your truck repair specialists in Grenfell, servicing all sizes of trucks, SGI accredited. Tonight, partly cloudy and a low of 7. Tomorrow, becoming mostly sunny and a high of 25. Wednesday, sunshine and 28. And Thursday, sunny and 26. At this hour in Moose Jaw, it's mostly cloudy. Winds are from the northwest at 37, gusting to 55, and it's 21. Regina is also mostly cloudy. Winds are from the northwest at 36, and it's 18. For more local news that matters to you, subscribe to the daily newsletter at sasktoday.ca.
When you want the best for your truck, you want Line-X. Your truck has withstood the harshest elements Saskatchewan has thrown at it. Rocks, gravel, rain, sleet, and snow, and left with no chips, no rust. Line-X protective coating keeps your truck's bed liners, rocker panels, and bumpers looking like brand new. Don't settle for Brand X. Go with Line-X. It's serious protection. Come see why everybody loves taking their truck to Line-X Regina for their rocker panels, bumpers, and more. Line-X. Make your truck complete. 1865 McCarra Street.
Whether Smokies after you or not, when you're on the road in your big rig, you're in a hurry to get to where you're going, and you need a part shop you can trust. Wolf Industries is the premium choice. They're your family-run truck mechanic shop with a full line of parts for big semis, with certified AC technicians for the hot summer. Stop in at their Grenfell location for all the parts and repairs you need. They're SGI accredited for safety inspections and have 24-hour emergency call-out. Wolf Industries, the best for your truck. 10-4.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents the all-new Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Kellen Solar, installing solar in residential and commercial buildings for 35 years. Local and trusted. Kellen Solar. Visit KELLNsolar.com. Be a part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The all-new Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Welcome back. It is for Kellen Solar. All-new Sports Cage. Barney Shankaruk and Sharky with you. Colson and Curtis on this Monday, coming off a Roughriders victory. Do we want to get into this right? Do you want to get into NFL right now?
Oh, my God. Oh, sure. You know what, Arash? You've given us bad information. That's what he's done.
Don't go with Arash. Let's go with your Cowboys.
Oh, that's hard to watch. 28-6 in the fourth quarter. I mean, they mounted a little bit of a comeback, but
I was actually quite shocked.
Yeah, I was quite impressed they came back as far as they did, but yeah, they didn't look very good. It looks like there's some people unhappy with how much some people are getting paid in Dallas.
Well, that was always going to be how it was going to shake down. You have so much money wrapped up in a quarterback and
one receiver
who is suspect at best.
I'm not going to go to suspect, but
he's decent.
He's second tier.
Yeah, tier 2 guy.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Then you have a receiver who's really good, but shut down one receiver. Teams have been doing it since football started. Well, since they started throwing football. And then you have a really good defensive end, a guy that can rush. Yep. But then you just run away from him. Double team
to the
him.
Other side. Yeah.
You don't have a lot of money to buy other parts and pieces that you need. And then now the game plan against the Dallas Cowboys for the rest of the year, and if teams don't do it, then coaches should be fired, is just run the ball on them.
Yeah. Force them to not have the ball, and if they do get it, force them to throw to somebody other than CeeDee Lamb. There you go. That's all you got to do. Pretty simple.
Well,
we're a one-trick pony, and that one-trick pony's not going to play in the playoffs.
I can't wait to talk to Arash tomorrow.
Yeah.
We got Farhan Lalji standing up at TSN here in a bit.
I'm a little unhappy. I'm unhappy with some of the advice Arash gave us, too, in the NFL. He told us Houston over the Vikings. Easy one. Well, guess what? That's wrong.
Any other crazy predictions last week on the show that anyone thought or said or had?
Are you coming after me Colson on this? Colson, didn't you have something?
No.
No?
I believe someone mentioned a trap game and was rebuffed on that every single time he brought it up.
Oh, so that's where you're going. Okay, you're coming out.
Colson's got my back.
You're coming after me, Colson.
It's not just you.
Oh.
It's more for Arash tomorrow. I said, watch the Red Rifle go into... I hate being this guy right now that's like, I told you so. But I said it was something about it. The Raiders are the Raiders. They were at home, but still the Red Rifle goes in and Carolina wins handily.
I know. I lost
Andy Dalton jerseys flying off the shelves in Charlotte. And so here's where I circle all the way this back around and call myself an absolute pigeon. Is I didn't bet the game. I talked about it all week. I never bet the game.
So you didn't put your money where your mouth was?
Forgot. Locked out of my account. Play Now had some issues.
That's right. You got locked out. Yeah.
But there was other avenues I could have.
Did you pay up?
Pay up who?
Your account so that you get back in.
Yeah, they're lucky that. Oh man, and then I would have went maybe one unit. I wouldn't have went that crazy. But yeah.
Okay, so what do you got tonight then?
So the other, and this is where I'm going to even it out, and I'm going to lose because I think Jacksonville can beat. Of course they can. They're professional athletes.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Jacksonville to straight up beat Buffalo.
Wow, and that's in Buffalo too, is it not?
It's in Buffalo.
No, I'm taking the Bills. I don't care. Colson, write this down so you can bring this back on me at a later date.
Okay, this is you're not really going out on a limb there, bud. What are they? 4-point favorites at this point right now?
Is that what you got?
4.5.
4.5. Okay.
The other game shouldn't even be close. Cincinnati is 7 on the Washington Commanders,
and they should be. Cincinnati's going to get their first of the year. They're not going to go 0-3.
Okay, here's maybe a little bit better of a play. Is over-unders.
Okay.
Which still, I don't know. I don't know enough about the Washington and 46. I don't. What's Cincy's defense like?
46?
Police officers are trying to get into our building as we speak.
Uh-oh.
We should bring them on the air.
The police presence is over? It's now in the building?
46.
Do they want video? What are they after?
Negative, 46 for that game. The other one's 46.5.
I think both of those are low.
Well, then take the over. Sounds like you got the over bets.
I got the over bets. Yeah, I'm taking the overs on both. I'm taking the Bills and the Bengals, but I think the Bengals is an easy one.
I like when people text in and let us know what they're thinking about gambling today. We're going out on the Capital Ford Lincoln text line. Capital Ford Lincoln, Saskatchewan's #1 Ford retailer, capitalfordlincoln.com. What do we have? Moose Jaw is half the cost as the Pats this year. Very good team compared to what Pats had. Prices need to be adjusted. Yeah, Trevor. Rick saying the same thing. Prices way too high, not going any games. The word on that one texter says Safeway still has the $25. So that's a texter, though. Not totally confirmed on that.
Okay.
Roscoe. Shout out, Roscoe. Funny guy. Bike dude might need a chiropractor. Too bad we don't have a chiropractor that advertises with the program. Because it'd be a great plug right now.
Be a great day.
If you're just tuning in, some guy in a bike, perpetrator, looked like he was up to no good.
Possession of stolen property, I think, would be the charge.
Got what he got coming to him. No, that's not how it goes.
You could say that.
City police did a fantastic job. Take out. Right in front of the studio here, 12th and Rose.
It was exciting action. We had live action right outside the studio.
Yeah. Also,
street is now cleared, though. It is safe to return to Rose Street.
Live action that you're going to like right away is Farhan Lalji. Hey, we were asking about the standings earlier. I just want to go back through the CFL standings. If you're watching the stream, because someone texted in and say, "Are you sure that your standings were correct?" They are up right there. Yes, they are. Totally up to date. Curtis does not miss a beat. I think, when you look at that, I think Winnipeg, and we looked at their remaining schedule. They play the Elks, the Tiger Cats, the Argos, and then the Owls, which they both could be resting people at that point.
Yeah, I don't think they will. I think Winnipeg's learned from resting people. They're not going to do it again.
All right, let's go back out on the Western Pizza guest hotline, and it's Monday. He joined us Friday. Now he's back on Monday. We're getting lots of Farhan Lalji over here. We love it. From TSN, he's joining us on the West Coast. Farhan. Before we get to the NFL side of things, because I'm really interested to talk to you there, let's talk about the Riders. Who had I know I didn't. If it would have been a nice prop bet over 200 yards, if that was even a possibility for Rock Armstead and the Riders in Calgary on Friday night, it's something you don't see, Farhan, when a guy's been with the program for days and he goes out and does that.
Yeah, no doubt, right? I mean, obviously he's a guy that was playing with a real chip on his shoulder, even though he's not facing Ottawa until next week. Just the thought to get back into the lineup after, he knows what's out there about him and how he was perceived coming out of Ottawa. None of that's a secret. So regardless of who he was playing, he wants to make that statement, and he did. I mean, he ran hard. Calgary did a real poor job of tackling, and Corey Mace and Mark Mueller did a great job of just continuing to ride him. And obviously they had to keep things simple. He wasn't there long enough to have a real complexity offensively. But, man, that guy runs hard. He's a talented guy, and when he's got his head on right and is focused on the right things, he's a handful for sure.
I don't know what you saw from the game, but I felt that it looked like the Riders were playing desperate football.
Well, both teams should have been desperate, right? I mean, that was a game that you could ill afford to lose. If you were Calgary, you're like, Saskatchewan has really fallen off the rails coming out of Labor Day. And if you're Saskatchewan, you've got to feel the same way. Both teams have difficult games coming up, but when you look at what the opponent was doing going into that game, both teams should have had a huge level of desperation, and you can see Saskatchewan wanted it just a little bit more.
You could probably feel it out there on the West Coast. We played the Coach Mace post-game interview just a little while ago. It felt like, I don't know how many pounds off his back, like pressure-wise. Yeah. I think it's going to ramp up again here as we get going through the week, but he just sounded like, finally, a win again.
Well, when you look at how they've lost games, I mean, they've been in these games, right? And I would say that of the last 6, they probably could have quite easily won 3 of them. So he's got to be feeling that pressure. And the unfortunate part for Corey is that he's been wearing what's happened the last 3 years in Saskatchewan. And I can understand how Jeremy O'Day needs to wear that, but I don't know why Corey Mace has to wear what happened the past 2 years under Craig Dickinson. But, it was an organizational thing, and he had to take it on. So unfortunate for him, but yeah, you could feel it. It was like a gorilla off his back after that game, no doubt.
It makes things in the West, now 4 games left for the Riders, but you look at it, it's awesome. If you love entertainment and you want the league to be tight and you want parity, it's where we are this year. With Edmonton losing to Winnipeg the other night, BC, Riders only 1 point back of BC. That West, especially that second spot, is up for grabs.
Yeah, and it couldn't have worked out better for Saskatchewan, right? I mean, the Lions obviously had the bye, but they lost their last game. And many people picked Edmonton to beat Winnipeg, including myself, right? So if all of a sudden you lose to Calgary and Edmonton finds a way to win that game, we could be looking at an entirely different standings right now. But, it's the CFL. As long as you stay in contention, really it is all about the last month. So all of their goals are in front of them right now. But yeah, you're right. They're right there. And Edmonton losing some of their mojo, not just the game, but the way they've been going the last month, that's got to make Saskatchewan feel good, because they had to be feeling the pressure not only of their own situation, but what Edmonton was doing behind them.
You said you're at Lions practice right now. You're watching it. Yeah. They have Hamilton coming in. I don't even know what the line is there. I'll look at it quick here. Yeah, 8-point favorite with Hamilton rolling in. But it's the CFL in 2024. Anything's possible. Anything intriguing you from Lions practice this week? And what are you kind of going after storyline-wise?
Well, I mean, the story is obviously going to be the quarterback situation, as it often is here, right? And you've got Nathan Ork, who they've said is now going to be the quarterback going forward. Watching Vernon Adams go through practice, and he's just the same Vernon Adams we've seen the last couple of weeks, where he's totally engaged, totally supportive, and ready for the next opportunity. But also the Lions, who've been relatively healthy all season, have had a couple of guys hurt of late, Jarrell Broxton and Ben Haladik, and they also added Jalen Edwards-Cooper, who was with Saskatchewan briefly last year, but prior to that with BC, and he's been still trying to nurse his shoulder back, so he's practicing. Is he going to be available this week? So a couple of those things, but ultimately, you look at Hamilton earlier this year, right, and BC just put it to them, especially in the first half. They've obviously made a coaching change on the defensive side since then. Hamilton is playing better. Bo Levi Mitchell is good, and last year, Hamilton came into BC as heavy underdogs in one of Scott Milanovich's first games back as head coach, and put the boots to the Lions in Vancouver. So a lot of subplots getting into that game for sure.
Big Hamilton fans in Sasky this week.
Yeah.
It's if anyone's got a Ticat jersey, you got to pull it out. Okay, NFL quickly here again. Yeah, you gotta love it because there's wild stuff going on there. Which one jumped out at you first in the NFL games?
Well, Carolina and Andy Dalton, right? I mean, you almost kind of predicted it when that happened to Bryce Young, that everybody, wouldn't you know it, Andy Dalton would do that, 36 years of age. And first time this season that a quarterback has thrown for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, which kind of tells you the way scoring is going right now in both football leagues, right? Like scoring is down because of what defenses are doing and how they're forcing teams to play. But Andy Dalton pushed the ball down the field, and you got the sense that they took a real aggressive approach to trying to defend him because of his relative inactivity. And Dalton put on a show. It was magnificent to watch. And, I kind of only had one eye on it because I was in Seattle for the game there. But that was interesting. The Cowboys just laying an egg. And Baltimore's good, right? They are a legitimate contender in the AFC. But, there's just nothing defensively going on right now in Dallas. And I've always had more concerns about them offensively. I love Dak Prescott. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb's a stud, but there's nothing else there in the way of weapons. So I had bigger concerns for Dallas offensively. But, wow, defensively, they were really, really bad in this game outside of Micah Parsons. So they got some soul-searching to do in Dallas.
Game plan, everybody that's playing Dallas, run the ball until they try and figure out a way to stop. Who's more for real if a guy was going to put a future down? Pittsburgh or Minnesota?
Minnesota. Because offensively they're playing at a real high level, even when they lose some guys. Pittsburgh is limited offensively. Yes, their defense is good. So is Minnesota's. But I think there's a gap there. And I know Justin Fields played well in that last game, and he's a good story. If he can turn it around, it's probably going to be his job and, for the near future. This is not about Russell Wilson's injury anymore. But, the smartest thing that Minnesota did was 2 years ago hiring Kevin O'Connell instead of Jim Harbaugh. And I've said this before, right?
Yeah.
This guy is an exceptional coach. You saw what he did last year when he's pulling Josh Johnson, the quarterback that they pulled in off the scrap heap in a week, and they wind up winning a game. I'll give you an example. I was in Seattle for the game this weekend, and Mike McDaniel, who I have a lot of respect for as a head coach, you got Skylar Thompson in as your quarterback. Last week, last week, the Seattle Seahawks gave up 200 yards rushing to the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
A year ago, they were 31st in the NHL in rush defense. They have yet to show that they can defend the run. And last year, Miami led the league in yards per attempt. Yet, what do? They run the ball 8 times in the first half and decide they want to throw it with Skylar Thompson. And he gets sacked 4 times and hit 7 times. That's a coach that wants to win games his way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Kevin O'Connell will win games whatever way is required to win them, and he's getting the most out of Sam Darnold. Minnesota all day for me.
I'm excited for Minnesota fans, that's for sure. Okay, so tonight we got Cincinnati hosting the Commanders. No way Cincinnati loses that game, although they lost to the Patriots in week 1. Yeah.
They did, but I think they're awake. They're awake. They know they're not going to let that happen again.
They're 4.5-point favorites, the Bills. I don't know. I'm not sleeping on the Jags going into Buffalo. Not a must win, but can the Jags beat these guys?
They can, but a lot has to go right. And I've always been a big Trevor Lawrence fan, and he's just not showing me any level of growth. And quite frankly, he hasn't for the last 2 seasons. He took the step when they brought in Doug Peterson, and you could see the growth there. But I don't know, and they don't have a ton of offensive weapons, quite frankly, especially in their receiving corps. So I have some concerns about their abilities to keep up. I thought Buffalo was going to take a big step back this year, and they may yet, because can Josh Allen continue to do what he's doing?
Yeah.
They rely on him so heavily for all phases of their offense, and at some point it may take its toll, but I don't know that that's tonight. I would give the points and take Buffalo to cover.
Last one for you. Was that a pass interference call that should have been called last night?
Totally. Yeah, it was a pass interference call. But on the subsequent drive, there were 2 pass interference calls that were made against Kansas City that I thought were both incredibly marginal. Like one, the announcers even had to say, well, it couldn't have been that. That didn't happen there. They must have got the number wrong. And then I saw the overhead, like that was the one. There was nothing else. So there were two completely fictional calls that tried to make up for it. And again, it's late in the game. One of them was third down. You kept the drive going. So for sure in the end zone, it should have been PI. But I think the refs made up for it.
All right. Have fun at Lions camp there and have a good week. And we'll talk to you again next week, Farhan.
Take care, bud.
Right on. Farhan Lalji from TSN joining us here on the all-new Sports Cage on the home of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, 620 CKRM, and live on the stream at sportscage.com.
The all-new Sports Cage is brought to you by Bronco Plumbing and Heating, where professional service is guaranteed. They'll treat you right. 781-2090.
From the biggest topic of the day to a lighthearted query, if you've got an opinion, we want to hear it. The 620 CKRM Daily Poll is your chance to have your say. Because if no one knows what you think, how will anyone know you're right? Brought to you by Action Roofing, proudly serving Regina and Saskatchewan for over 40 years. Call the roofing professionals at 306-545-4677. Let us know what you think. Head over to the 620 CKRM Daily Poll at 620CKRM.com.
Water heater and water softener rentals are now available at Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Instead of paying big money up front, you can rent a water heater and water softener directly from Bronco without the worry or hassle. They have a long history of renting water heaters and water softeners, and they're maintenance-free. Bronco comes and does all that for you. Saskatchewan's best water heater rentals are from Bronco. Call 306-781-2090. Professional, courteous service. BroncoPlumbing.com.
The Gleaner S98 is the culmination of a century of unique design and performance, adding more harvest performance through operator comfort, new technology, and simplified serviceability. The Gleaner S98 is a combine designed to propel your business forward. Gleaner's simple design drastically reduces compaction and increases fuel savings. Learn more about the Gleaner S98 at Nick's Service in Emerald Park or visit them online at nickservice.com.
When you have a big job on the go, always head to Prairieland Rental for everything from skid steers to excavators to jackhammers. You'll get everything done with equipment just from Prairieland. You won't need to go anywhere else. And at Prairieland, you deal directly with the owner. They're very local and very Sask. They appreciate your local business and they've got everything you need for your projects. They'll even deliver. Prairieland Rental, 600 Albert Street. PrairielandRental.com.
Your friends at Prairie Gun Traders in Avonlea have exactly what you need this fall. From muzzle loaders, rifles to shotguns, you are totally covered this hunting season. Plus, browse through their great selection of ammunition, optics, calls, trail cams, scents, knives, and more. The hunting store that has it all. At Prairie Gun Traders in Avonlea. You have a friend in the game. Main Street, Avonlea, or check out prairieguntraders.ca.
All-new Sports Cage continues. You can watch our live stream at sportscage.com and always on the radio. Saskatchewan's voice for local sports, 620 CKRM.
Welcome back to the all-new Sports Cage. Watching the stream, sportscage.com. Thank you very much. Or, as always, we're on 620 CKRM here. Barney Shinkaruk and Sharky. Don't forget about the Rough Rider Foundation 50-50 for this week. Buy your tickets online, riders5050.ca. So all year they've had the early bird prize, right?
Yep.
So early bird prize this week, you got to get your tickets by Wednesday at 5 p.m. Guess what the prize is?
Well, we're getting to the end, so there's probably not going to be as big a prize. I think the last one was a ski trip, was it not?
Yeah, Whistler.
Calgary Stampede for 2?
Not a bad guess.
Yeah.
No, it's not, though. They just went straight cash.
We're just giving you money.
They're like, go away. We're done with trips. Let's just give them cash. Early bird prize is $2,500 cash.
You could go to the Stampede then.
You can go to the Stampede. So you're buying the 50-50 anyway this weekend, going to the game against Ottawa. Or if you're still harvesting, you just want to buy it online for sure. Riders5050.ca is for the Saskatchewan Roughrider Foundation. Also, okay, so we got Coach Philip Daniels from the Riders joining us in about 10, 12 minutes time. You have any questions that you would like to ask the defensive line coach of our Saskatchewan Roughriders, now is your time.
Probably stick to defensive questions.
Short
Yeah.
text messages,
Yeah.
under 20 words if possible. 936-6262. He's coming up in a bit. But it's time for bumping and grinding.
Rubbing is racing.
There we go.
So do we get the intro music? No?
There we go.
All new Sportscage NASCAR report. Robin is Racing is brought to you by Croft Electric. 27 years of trusted, reliable home, farm, and commercial service for all of your electrical needs. Visit croftelectric.com and on all socials.
The first 3 races of the playoffs are over, which means 4 drivers are out of the playoff hunt. Denny Hamlin needed a big week as he was below the cut line. He had a great race at Bristol, finishing 4th, and it keeps him in the top 12 and in the playoffs. Ty Gibbs was passed by Hamlin, and that dropped Ty Gibbs out of the playoff. Kyle Larson was the winner of the race, his 5th of the year, and that's the most by any driver this season. Also eliminated from the playoffs were Harrison Burton, who was a real long shot to advance, Brad Keselowski, and Martin Truex, who's in his final year of racing with Team Gibbs. Next week, Kansas hosts the Hollywood Casino 400. 267 laps, 400 miles, and it is the start of round 2 in the playoffs. Leading the playoff field is Larson. He's followed by Christopher Bell. And your guy?
Tyler Reddick.
There you go, Tyler Reddick. Nice work. The bubble 4 that need 3 big races to advance are Suarez, Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric, and Alex Bowman. But they're all 8 points behind the last, the 8th seed, Joey Logano. And like the last 3 races, win one of these and you advance to the field of 8.
I don't have my sheet. You said I'm doing all right, though?
You got 11 out of 12.
I think I got,
you got 11
for some reason,
out of 12.
I think I got George Bell's kid.
You do. You have Christopher. And
Yeah.
It's not George's kid, but
You
anyway.
sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have him.
Yeah. You have Christopher Bell. You actually have Cindric and Briscoe, which I didn't think would advance, so I put them on your sheet kind of as a joke. And lo and behold.
I think I liked, yeah.
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 Daniel Suarez, you also have, the only one you lost was, I think, Truex. I think was the only guy you lost that I had going through. So, yeah. I lost 3. You lost 1. Nice work. You might even be leading the whole pool right now.
No.
I think so.
I still owe $20 for that, though.
Yeah. Well, you know who to call. Yeah. Call the guy with the fancy Christmas lights that go up
Yes.
all year long. All year long.
Crofty Electric. Oh, man, those lights are... I made the mistake of showing my family.
Oh, I've never showed my wife that. What are you, dumb?
I'm very
don't show
dumb.
your wife.
I showed the wife and the kids.
Oh, no.
So the girl was like, well, we need those. That's all we got to get those, Dad. I'm like, Dad, look at me. Do I look like the kind of guy that would... And then, but I don't know how they get them up there. These are the permanent lights we're talking about right now. Croft Electric does these.
Yeah, they're a permanent LED that goes on your house. You don't have to worry about them. They plug in, and then you run them for your phone.
They're not like bulky, and they don't look like...
They're stripped. You don't even see them up there.
Don't even see them.
They match your soffit even. So they match your soffit color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can do all that. Thanks. Good report. I'm very curious.
You're curious on the pool, aren't you?
First ever NCAA bracket pool I went in back in grade 10, I think. I won. No idea. Gonzaga, what? Villa, what?
I'm taking them.
Yeah. So maybe this will be beginner's luck all over again here with my first ever NASCAR pool.
Your Reddick like is good. I think he's going to be in the Final Four. I really do. He's got a great car, great driver, and he is
good
part
hair.
of the.
If his hair's anything like his dad, Eldon.
No, that's not his dad. His owner is Michael Jordan. The owner of his car.
The Michael Jordan from Foam Lake?
No, the Michael Jordan from the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, from Foam Lake.
We're getting some questions coming in here.
Oh, my goodness.
When we get Philip Daniel on the line, defensive line coach of our Saskatchewan Roughriders. So if you... actually, two of the people have the exact same question. So good to know. If you all got any questions, 936-6262. Talking Saskatchewan Roughriders. Back to the Monday Night Football thing. It's a little bit weird because people are like, whoa. There's 2 games tonight?
There is 2 games tonight.
TV rights, right? And the whole TV deals and all that. But it still just seems super awkward that they start, 15-minute gap?
Yeah, there's 20 minutes between them or something. It's a ridiculous amount.
I
would appreciate if they started like 7 and 8:30 or something, but like East and West Coast, but they don't even do that.
That's what we need is
common sense to the NFL schedule.
45 minutes apart. The first one starts at 5:30 local time here.
Okay.
6:15, which could be the sleeper.
Is that the Bengals game?
Commanders, Bengals.
I'm still taking the Bengals. And the over.
We'll take the Bengals for sure. And you want to go over 46.5. To be honest, I don't know anything about Washington.
Neither do I.
They're the Commanders.
That's it. That's all I got.
Cincinnati, I think what's-his-name should be back tonight for Cincinnati as well. So they're going to be even more weaponry for Joe Burrow.
And part of the over I'm taking is Cincinnati gets big. Like, I got them in the 30s.
Yeah.
I got them in the 30s.
No, okay. Maybe I'll hit that as well. How about Minnesota? Like talking to Farhan there. No, there's nothing right. I don't mind.
No, I don't mind, but all the talk was Houston.
I took Houston.
Yeah.
Because of a rash.
Yeah.
They got a lot of talking. He's got a lot of explaining to do tomorrow.
I might come back just to talk to Arash tomorrow. Yeah. Unhappy with that.
Call in.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Call in and give him a piece of your mind.
Arash,
what?
You're giving out bad advice, and I don't like it.
What were you thinking? And then the Vikings are his team. And he didn't even want to ride with the Vikings.
He didn't want to go anywhere near it.
Like, seriously, as a Cowboys fan, though, like, where's your head at today?
Oh, it's very unhappy. Because I don't see it getting better. I see it continuing to be bad.
You have the Giants on Thursday.
And there's a chance, yeah.
If you do not win that football game,
then the wheels are really off the bus. If they lose to that Giants team,
I think.
Oh my God,
McCarthy might get fired.
Yeah, if he loses to the Giants, I can see it. Jerry Jones will coach himself. Can't do worse.
Oh, that we need to see that before he is gone. We need to see him be that idiotic to go on the sideline and coach.
Here's what I get. He doesn't run down and work the oil rigs. Why does he think he can run a football team? He can't. Just
ego.
Own it. Sit in the owner's box.
Ego.
Oh, I know it's ego. It's not common sense, for God's sakes.
Rich people should not, a lot of times, run sports franchises.
How did they get rich? They got rich by
finding
the right
a lot
people.
of times on the back of other people.
That's right.
Other people running your company, making it really good.
Yeah.
Selling your goods.
Doing what they do.
Yeah, it's not you.
No.
A lot of times it's definitely not you.
In this case, it's definitely not him. He shouldn't be running that football team. But you look at the Davis family, they're the same way in Las Vegas.
The other one that I really took it on the chin was Denver. 26-7 over the Buccaneers.
Yeah, that was another loss. Where's my thing? My list is embarrassing this week. Oh, my God.
Giants and Browns, I didn't want to touch that. I felt that was sketch from the get-go. Packers over the Titans had that. Steelers are 3-0. I don't know if the Steelers are for real. I asked Farhan who's more for real there, and he says Minnesota. But Mike Tomlin, I don't know what that guy, I don't know what he does.
He's got some magic, doesn't he? He gets guys to play and play hard for him. Yeah.
Lions, Cardinals. Oh, I needed that. I needed that in a 3-point game.
I took New Orleans at home. They lost to Philly.
And how about that score in that game? I would have never thought that we were sitting at 27 points as a total in that game.
Yeah.
15-12. And that, again, I didn't want to touch that one because I had no idea who was going to do what there. I took the Falcons last night, mostly because I just despise the Chiefs. And then again, like we talked to Farhan, how was that not a pass interference call?
The magic of the Kansas City Chief officiating crew. There are two teams that are 3-0. There's Seattle and Minnesota.
There's more. Pittsburgh.
Sorry, yeah. Oh, look at that. Kansas City.
Yeah.
Kansas City's 3-0. The refs decide that, though.
Kansas.
They let them be 3-0.
I don't want to be disgruntled Kansas City.
I'm not going to be
hater,
that guy. No.
But I just don't. I don't think that the three-peat, they're like squeaking by.
Yeah, they don't
every
look very
game.
dominant right now, do they? No.
Pacheco's out. That hurts.
They need to get. Yeah, that does hurt big time. But they should be better.
And I think definitely 49er fans are scared. Lots of injuries there. They lose to the Rams late. So
yeah, lots of guys on the DL in San Francisco. They need to get that fixed.
Could be a good thing down the road with getting a little bit of rest and all that. I don't think they're going to go anywhere. They got a really good. They got a really good team.
Are you off the Bills for tonight? Are you off the Bills?
I want to take the Jags.
You do you?
Yeah. Going to take the Jags.
All right.
I'm going to do this live here right away. But we got Philip Daniels after the break. Colson Singh after the break. We got Philip Daniels. So get your questions in. If you have any questions for the defensive line coach from our Saskatchewan Roughriders, 936-6262. Then if you're watching on the stream, sportscage.com. And as always, we're on 620 CKRM.
When it comes to duct cleaning, call Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. They'll clean out the dust and debris that builds up over the summer. When you need protection, they offer a monthly plan for homeowners to get regular service done on their AC and furnace, as well as plumbing. And when it comes to furnace servicing, it's never too early to get that done too. Bronco will service your furnace and have you ready to go before winter hits. Consider it today, so you can rest easy tomorrow. Learn more at broncoplumbing.com.
Hey Rider Nation, this is Dave Thomas, voice of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Listen to this. How does a 50-50 payday sound? Sounds like a win to me. Huddle up to riders5050.ca and you can purchase 50-50 tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can even score quickly with the early bird prize. This week it's $2,500 cash. And you'll be in for the massive weekly jackpots. Buy now at riders5050.ca and support amateur football in Saskatchewan. Sponsored by ISC. License LR 2426.
Get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza. Some will try to tell you 8 inches is enough. Others will say 10 inches will do. But when you want a lot of pizza, you gotta hanker down with a delicious 13-inch pepperoni from Western Pizza. Why mess with a good thing? You know what you want. 13 inches of pepperoni pizza perfection from Western Pizza. Western Pizza. Big on toppings, big on taste. Dine in or take out. Order today. And get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
With over 380 conveniently located cardlock locations, Co-op offers the largest cardlock network in Western Canada. Count on us to keep you fueled 24/7, right from Vancouver Island, British Columbia, through to Thunder Bay, Ontario, and all points in between.
Welcome back to the all-new Sports Cage. Get social with us. Follow us on X at Sports Cage. Watch our video stream at sportscage.com and always on the radio at 620 CKRM.
It is for Kellen Solar on Mondays. Our friends out in Lumsden there. They can get your water from your well or dugout, wherever you need, without
feed the horses, feed the cows,
without electricity.
Yep,
big. Yeah, as you found out earlier, a big cattle ranch guy.
Yeah, are you ever?
Big cattle ranch guy over here. Let's go out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. It is a good night for Western Pizza. It's Monday. No one wants to cook. You got 2 NFL football games to watch. Grab yourself a pie. Or that Greek goodness that's Western Pizza always makes. The souvlaki, the ribs, the salads. Check out the local special in your area. I made you hungry, didn't I?
Oh, you did again. Every time you do this, I'm starving again.
Second time this guy's joined the program. Defensive line coach from our Saskatchewan Roughriders, Philip Daniels. Philip, I don't know about you. We played the Coach Mace clip off the start of the show, and it just sounded like whatever the weight on the back and the chest was, it was lifted off Friday briefly. Did you guys all feel that a bit?
You're exactly right, man. We all felt it. We've been through some rough times with the injuries, but we pushed through. Guys were competitive the whole way through. We just knew that if we can just win a game, just get into a situation where we can have the lead and go play and win it, that we can move forward. So it's definitely a weight off the shoulders. We were all feeling it, but it's good to get a win.
So your playing career, pretty prestigious.
Yeah,
Seattle Seahawks, Chicago Bears, Redskins, and you coached in the NFL as well with the Eagles. And then so when you look at this Rider team, and how many games that really could have gone either way. We could be talking about a number of wins. Have you ever been a part of anything like that where it's just like so close on, like, it's not like you guys are getting blown out before, the Calgary game. It's like you guys were right there.
It reminds me of the first year we was in Philly. We was playing, and it seemed like we had games won, and something would happen at the end. We fumble, and we lose the game. Kind of feels that way. With us here, we got so many injuries, and I've never been on a team that had so many offensive linemen go down. And then you got other key positions like, Lanier on the D-line, and we had Bell early in the year had some defensive linemen go down. And we just got so many injuries here that, we're just trying to keep these guys competitive and keep fighting. We've been in every game. We had a chance to win pretty much every one of the games. But, with these injuries, it takes a toll on you. But the main thing is to keep the guys fighting and believing in themselves, and that's what we've done as coaching staff.
Couple other questions that we got to the Capital Ford Lincoln text line in the last 20 minutes here are Rider Nation fans asking, do we have a status update on Lanier?
Well, he's working through it right now. Not sure. He should be back at practice this week doing some things. But as far as playing time and him playing, we don't know yet. We want to take it slow with him, and he may go out and feel okay and may get sore at the end of the week. Anything could happen there. So we don't want to push him back or rush him back. We'd rather take another week if we need to make sure he's back, and that's how we're going to approach it. We're not going to rush him back, but hopefully he'll feel good enough this week, and we'll see at the end of the week.
Coach, you talked about injuries earlier, and I appreciate you bringing that up because you have had some bang-ups on the defensive line. Who's stepped up and impressed you the most out of that group? Who's made a difference that you maybe were hoping would just fill a hole?
Pretty much everybody had to step up, but Caleb Sanders, Lanier went down. He stepped up. He stepped up in a major way. He's done some good things for us. He's one of those guys that's real physical. That goes out. He knows what to do. And he approached the game lights out every week. I said another guy, excuse me, but another guy, had to step up. Miles Brown had to step up. Pretty much all of our tackles, Michael's an old school guy in the room. He's been a good leader, but pretty much those guys stepped up to help us out in the harbor. I give a shout out to Harbor. Harbor is our swing guy. He's played inside and outside. And he was ready to go if we needed him inside, but I tried to play him mostly outside. But all those guys stepped up, and they replaced him, man. And we didn't miss a beat up front, man. We've been playing some good, solid football. We had some hiccups here or there, but for the most part, with the injuries and stuff, I expect that. And for the most part, we've been playing pretty well.
It's interesting you brought up Miles Brown. He's been criticized a little bit over a couple of plays that I don't think were as bad as everybody on the opposition like to think they were. How's the group rallied around Miles, and what's been the communication with him?
Man, Miles has been a guy who comes to work every day. He got his hard hat on. He works harder than anybody on this team. I hate that he's getting a label as a player that's dirty or whatever. But Miles, when you look at those plays and you look at what happened on those plays, Miles was held on those plays and thrown into the quarterback a few times. And that happens, down south, we tell our old linemen down south to not throw the quarterback, or not throw the lineman around, not throw the lineman around because you never know where that quarterback's going to be standing. And in this case, he was pulled down a couple of times. He couldn't control, them pulling him down, and he ended up going into the quarterback legs a few times, and he got a bad route for that. But Miles is one of the guys that do everything right. He tries to play the game the way it should be played, and it's just sad that he's getting a bad route for something that he ain't in control of.
Absolutely.
I agree. Yeah, I agree 100%.
On that. Yeah. Like, geez, what do you expect the guy to do? He's playing football. And if the quarterback takes a one-step drop, it's going to get short yardage.
Yep.
Yeah, like, come on. Kate,
on that play.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, on that play in particular that you're talking about, the short yardage play, we're charging low on that play. So we're going to get pulled, and we're going to run over people. People are going to get, be on their backs, and if you fake that play and you drop back, then your legs going to be in danger. They got to clear your legs so that you know that we're coming on, we're charging low. We're train tracking that thing. We're going straight ahead. So my thing is, like that hit, it actually was above the knee, it's just unfortunate that the quarterback got hurt. And all these situations, you think about it, it's easily could have been the opposite way. It could have been holding calls, but those we're not getting those calls, and these quarterbacks end up getting hurt. So it's just unfortunate that that Miles was getting the blunt of it. But my thing is, it could have been prevented if we just. I think it can be prevented with more holding calls called.
Yeah, right on. Good words there, Coach. Okay, one question I wanted to ask you, and I guess it's kind of maybe from the offensive side and the defensive side, but what Rock Armstead does against Calgary on Friday. He comes in, he goes for 207. He's basically been in camp for 5 minutes. As a defensive coach, how do you coach against a guy that's coming in? Yeah, you got tape from another team, but then you coach him coming in, and it's like, okay, well, he hasn't been there that long. Put yourself, maybe as I'm saying, in the Calgary shoes to go, wow, we didn't expect that. This guy hasn't even been around, and he ran over us for 207.
Yeah, I like to use this expression, faceless opponent. For us up front, we got to just do our part. We got to own our gaps. We got to be sound in our gaps. It don't matter who's back there. It all starts with the offensive line. If you don't give them the holes, then they can't run. But he did a good job, man, running the ball, man. Kind of remind me of Adrian Peterson, the way he runs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, like for us up front, every week I tell my guys to have that attitude that we got a faceless opponent. We got to do our part, do our jobs, our alignments, our assignments, our technique got to be the same, got to be on point, and that we eliminate that. So as long as we're sound up front, then we don't give up the big runs like that. But no, we had a couple of hiccups this season against Edmonton and also against Calgary. They did some things different. They started running the ball a little bit more on second down there. But at the same time, I tell my guys, just be solid in your gaps. Don't fool the linebackers. That's one thing you don't want to do is fool the people behind you.
Yeah.
Just be solid in your gaps, handle your responsibility, do your job, and we'll be fine.
That's a good comparison. Adrian Peterson. That was
really
a good
nice.
one. For your group, what are you preparing for against Ottawa at home this weekend?
Well, we faced them out there, you know what I'm saying, and everybody know how that game went at the end.
In a monsoon.
We had a win. We didn't get it. We didn't get it, but we just got to go and handle our business, man, and be solid, sound. They've been a good team. They played well this year. We just got to, like I say, we win it up front. I always tell my guys we win the games up front. We don't rely on the back end, you know what I'm saying, to do all that. We got to get to the quarterback, and we got to stop the run game. It all starts with the trenches, and if we do our job up front, then we'll be fine. I expect them to come in with the same attitude they had when we went there. They're one of the best teams out there, and they're going to come in and fighting and swinging, and we got to swing back, and fight back. That's all. And my thing is, we know the team. We know this team well. We just got to go out there and, like I say, do our job, and we'll be fine.
All right. Okay, so you played for the Washington Redskins, and then you worked as an administrator in Washington. My last question to you, any chance for Washington against Cincy tonight?
Oh, man, Joe Burrow going to be tough, man. I just think that, when you look at that team, they don't have all the pieces in place yet. It's easy to see. Coaching staff just got there. It's kind of like our first year in Philly. We didn't have all the pieces, so we had to go out and get those pieces in the offseason. And I think that's what's going to happen with Washington. The secondary got to step up. You're going against Joe Burrow and Chase and those guys, and you got to step up back there. So I think that if they can get pressure on Burrow up front and not give him time to sit in the pocket and look around, it gives them a better chance to win the game. And also the rookie quarterback got to throw it a little bit more. Right now he's running more than he's throwing it, and they got to get him to throw the ball because right now McLaurin and those guys are not even a factor because they're not throwing the ball down the field. So if they can just get the offense moving, give it to Robinson, let him run. You want to really, truly, you want to shorten this game. You want to shorten this game, give it to Robinson, let him run. Hope he can run, get 4-5 yards here or there, keep the chains moving, and then throw it when you need to, especially when you got a young quarterback back there. You can't put too much on his shoulders, so you just got to run the ball and hope for the best.
There we go. All right. Well, I'm sure you'll be watching, and have a good week at practice, Coach, and keep grinding. Looking forward to seeing how it goes against Ottawa this week. Thanks a lot for your time today.
All right. Thank you guys for having me.
Right on.
Cheers.
Defensive line coach of our Saskatchewan Roughriders, Philip Daniels. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even want to touch the Cincy Washington game.
You're scared of it now, are you?
Yeah, just
you were talking big before, but now you've backed.
No. I'm more curious on the other one. I'm more curious on the Jacksonville Buffalo game. Maybe I'll play a few here. We'll figure out a couple prop bets live. Watching the all-new Sportscage at sportscage.com, and as always, we're on 620 CKRM.
APAS is there when you can't be. As farmers and ranchers, you need to fight increasing costs and regulation. But how are you supposed to be everywhere at once? You're busy with harvest, so you don't have time for meetings with politicians, presentations to committees, and tracking legislation that will affect your farm. This is where APAS comes in. Your APAS representative, the APAS Board of Directors, and the Canadian Federation of Agriculture all work together to represent you. APAS is there when you can't be. Visit apas.ca and become a member today.
Sask Lotteries has 50 years of winning behind us. And you know what that means? Lots of winning numbers. Numbers like over 1,200 organizations funded and 12,000 plus groups supported. $6 million given away annually in community grants. And the winningest number of all? $1.4 billion given back to the people of Saskatchewan through sport, culture, and recreation. And we're just getting started. Help us grow the next 50. Learn more at sasklotteries.ca.
If you want to optimize yields and profits, you need the power of PRS technology from Western Ag. An accurate measure of the soil's power to release nutrients, a customized crop plan, a complete understanding of the best crop options for your fields, and a network of professional agronomy consultants. That is the power of PRS technology from Western Ag, helping you grow more profit.
Go to growmoreprofit.com and sign up your farm for soil sampling.
Rider Nation lives on 620 CKRM. I'm Dave Thomas, voice of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Saturday is game day as the Riders take on the Ottawa Redblacks. Countdown to kickoff with Justin Dunk is at 10 a.m. Pre-game shows at 12. And kickoff with Luke Mullender and I is at 1. Saskatchewan Roughrider football on the Cooperators Roughrider Radio Network is brought to you by Salford Group, Quality Tire, Connexus Art Center, and Redhead Equipment. Stream every minute of Rider football at sportscage.com.
This summer, if you're thinking of a new building, think Olympic Buildings. They're engineered from top to bottom to be better than the rest. Strength, solid design, and impressive good looks are all standard on an Olympic farm building. Visit olympic-buildings.ca.
The all-new Sportscage is live streaming from our Century Studios in downtown Regina. Watch now at sportscage.com. Be part of the show by texting 306-936-6262. 620 CKRM.
Chances aren't good that these bets are correct, but I played the money line.
What do you mean they're not good?
I played the money line for Jacksonville to win.
Okay.
And I played the over in that game.
If Jacksonville wins, it will be an over.
46.5.
Definitely.
I'm going to play, for some reason, Trevor Lawrence to score at least one touchdown. Half a unit only. So, there. Those are my bets for this evening. I'm scared to touch the other game. Washington, Cincy.
I don't know why you're scared.
Well, it's because Cincy's going to win. So it's like, whoopee. Like, the odds aren't fantastic.
Okay. So what you're saying is you just don't like to play the odds.
Well, unless you think Cincy's going to pound them.
I was taking the over because I think they're going to score big. I think Burrow's going to put up some
Cincinnati going to win by more than 7?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm playing that then.
Okay.
More than 7 as well.
Do I got to give you money now?
No. This is all on me.
If
I win, it stays with me. If I lose, well, then you laugh.
Yeah.
Go ahead and laugh at me. So much more to come yet. We got another hour of programming ahead. If you're watching the stream, sportscage.com. Don't forget, pick the score. Don't sleep on pick the score, people. Yep. It's back. And 936-6262. What is the score?
Somebody's
Saturday.
getting tickets today, right?
Someone's getting tickets today.
We got the big wheel of
fish and winning. Colson is going to spin that, and then closest to at the end of it all wins $200 SaskTel gift card.
Nice.
There we go. It is the all-new Sportscage.
I'm not eligible, though, right?
No, you're not.
Okay.
We got Darian Durant coming up after news. If you're watching the stream, he's going to be on the stream, sportscage.com, or you can just listen in on the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM.
It's 5 o'clock. Good evening. It's mostly cloudy and it's 19 degrees in Regina. I'm Corey Atkinson from the Harvard Media News Center with 620 CKRM News for Echo Sound and Fort Qu'Appelle. Stay connected with the new cell phone from Echo Sound. Call 306-332-6711. Canadian grain farmers say they are deeply concerned over a potential strike looming in Vancouver by terminal workers. The Grain Growers of Canada says a strike by grain workers would cripple crop exports since about 52% of all Canadian-grown grain went to those terminals last year. This comes after the union representing the workers said a 72-hour strike notice has been served to their employer, with workers set to walk off the job at 7 a.m. tomorrow local time. It's been 2 years since the Sask Party launched its Health Human Resources Action Plan, and the government is pleased with the results so far. The Health Human Resources Action Plan has 4 key pillars: recruit, train, incentivize, and retain. Provincial Health Minister Everett Hindley says the government has been traveling to talk to healthcare providers and workers around Saskatchewan.
We made a pretty concerted effort to get around the province, more so than ever before, to make sure that we're visiting healthcare facilities and talking to frontline healthcare providers. And I know that's health systems right across the country. I would say we're probably struggling with this and trying to find a.
The provincial government says it has invested more than $300 million into the program to try to fill holes in staffing levels, train new healthcare workers, and keep them here. Moose Jaw Police responded to a vehicle fire on the 700 block of Ominica Street East on Sunday evening. A body was found inside the vehicle and later pronounced deceased by EMS. The cause of the fire and the death are under investigation. The next of kin has been notified. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is in New York today speaking with world leaders as part of the 78th meeting of the United Nations General Assembly. While there, he met with Nobel Peace Prize laureate Malala. Here's the beginning of their meeting.
Such an honor to meet you.
Thank you so much. Good to see you again. You are such an inspiration to so many millions of people around the world, including my kids. But I really just wanted to say thank you for everything you're doing. Looking forward to talking about how Canada can continue to be impactful around women and girls in the world and support the incredible and inspirational work you're doing.
Trudeau met Haiti's acting Prime Minister Gary Conille this morning before delivering remarks at a high-level meeting for a UN advisory group for Haiti. Trudeau also attended a working luncheon hosted by German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and will appear on CBS's talk show hosted by Stephen Colbert later tonight. Lebanese authorities say Israeli airstrikes have killed more than 490 people, including at least 90 women and children. Israeli military spokesman Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari says the army will do whatever is necessary to push Hezbollah from Lebanon's border with Israel. Hagari also claims today's widespread airstrikes inflicted heavy damage to Hezbollah, but would not give a timeline for the ongoing operation. He says Israel is prepared to launch a ground invasion if necessary. Lebanese authorities say today's airstrikes killed more than 490 people and injured at least 1,600 others. That's your 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com. Your weather is next.
With the success of the recent Apollo space flights, man has been brought another step closer to the moon. Aboard these flights, 3 astronauts, and with them, top-of-the-line smartphones with all the latest features.
Houston, we've got no problem at all. We're loving these smartphones that we got at Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer.
Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer's biggest role isn't in the space program. It's right here on Earth, in Fort Qu'Appelle, or online at echosound.ca.
Wondering what your equipment is really worth? Hi, I'm Riley McChesney from McDougall Auctioneers, your go-to appraisal experts. With our finger on the pulse in today's market, we offer the most accurate, up-to-date valuations for your machinery. Planning to expand or thinking of selling? Get the real value of your equipment with McDougall Auctioneers. Over 42 years of expertise at your service. Call us at 1-800-263-4193 or visit us at mcdougallauction.com.
I'm Corey Atkinson with your 620 CKRM Precision Weather, brought to you by Line X Regina. Serious protection, killer looks, 1865 McCarra Street, and for Croft Electric. 27 years of trusted, reliable home, farm, and commercial service for all electrical needs. CroftElectric.com and all socials. Now here's Precision Weather meteorologist Russ Murley.
Despite the calendar officially turning to fall yesterday, you have a rather notable warm-up on the way, with temperatures that won't be all that fall-like for the duration of the week, with those readings going well above normal. Tonight, partly cloudy skies over the area, with temperatures for lows dropping down to around 7. Mostly sunny and turning warmer Tuesday, the high up to 26. Mostly clear skies Tuesday night, the low temperature around 11. It'll be mostly sunny and quite warm on Wednesday, along with a brisk breeze, the high up to 29. Thursday, mostly sunny skies. Temperatures remain above normal, the high about 26. Friday continued mostly sunny and pleasantly warm, the high around 27.
Across the province at this hour, Saskatoon is 18, Swift Current 21, Assiniboia 20, Yorkton Melville 17, Moosomin Broadview 16, Estevan 18, and Weyburn is 19. At this hour in Moose Jaw, it's mostly cloudy. Winds are from the northwest at 24, gusting to 35, and it's 21 degrees. Regina is also mostly cloudy. Winds are from the northwest at 31, gusting to 45, and it's 19 degrees. For more local news that matters to you, subscribe to the daily newsletter at sasktoday.ca.
Croft Electric. You've probably heard of us because we've been around for over 27 years. We do commercial and residential work? Yes. We do permanent holiday lighting? Yes. We do cabins? Yes. And farm? Yes and yes. We're an authorized Generac generator dealer. We are a full-service electrical company with the experience and the people to service all of your electrical needs. We are Croft Electric. We will be here when you need us. Do it right, do it once. Follow us on all social and call 306-586-1333 to book.
When you want the best for your truck, you want Line-X. Your truck has withstood the harshest elements Saskatchewan has thrown at it. Rocks, gravel, rain, sleet, and snow, and left with no chips, no rust. Line-X protective coating keeps your truck's bed liners, rocker panels, and bumpers looking like brand new. Don't settle for Brand X. Go with Line-X. It's serious protection. Come see why everybody loves taking their truck to Line-X Regina for their rocker panels, bumpers, and more. Line-X. Make your truck complete. 1865 McCarra Street.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents the all-new Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Callan Solar. 35 years of experience moving water from a dugout or well without electricity. Visit KELLNsolar.com to find out more for your livestock operation. Be a part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The all-new Sportscage. Streaming at sportscage.com and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Good start.
Touchdown every time. Oh, Rough Riders, fight on for
You're not dancing.
Oh, I just enjoy that. It was in. We played it on Friday, and it was in my head until I think Saturday evening, and then now it's back in my head, and I probably will ride it all the way to the end of the week. It's catchy. It is the all-new Sportscage. We've got an hour left here. Barney Shinkaruk, Sharkey, Colson, and Curtis. Lots of fun playing. SaskTel Pick the Score. 936-6262 if you want to get in on that. Shoot us a line. And, yeah, lots of people, guess what? Picking Riders over Ottawa as I look through them.
The bandwagon is full again.
Riders over Ottawa, 35-20. People are going high-scoring affair. Yeah.
Well, if Armstead does what he did again, he's going to be angry with them.
This time of the year, you got to watch that forecast, son.
Yep. It looks like it's going to be a gorgeous day.
Does it?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. It's that time of the week. Colson, hit it.
The all-new Sportscage presents Double Talk with Darian Durant. Brought to you by Wolf Industries, your truck repair specialist in Grenfell. Servicing all sizes of trucks, SGI accredited. And Prairie Land Rentals. Whether it's for the farm or the backyard, Prairie Land Rentals can help with all sizes of jobs.
If you are watching the stream, sportscage.com, you see him right there all decked out. Nice looking shirt and rider hat there, Darian.
Yep,
joining us today. But you thought that it would be Calgary over our Riders, you said last week. I'll let you take the floor because usually you will admit when you were wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. I was dead wrong. And God Almighty, I'm so happy to be wrong in this case. I just didn't, who forecasted Armstead to come in and do what he did, to be able to control the ball on the ground. Whenever you can play like that, you allow Trevor to minimize the attempts that he can take and be as deadly accurate as he just does what he does best in that situation. So hats off to the Riders. I'm so glad they proved me wrong, and I can stand in my wrongness for sure.
No, hey, we're not always going to be right? Even though our wives think we are not always right. We are not. Okay, but let's start with Armstead, because you were the guy last Monday, and then I ran with it all week. I was like Darian said, a guy running back position is one of the positions where you can bring a guy in off the street and he can do his job. That's what happened, Darian. We just had Coach Philip Daniels on, who says he runs like Adrian Peterson. I think that was a fair comparison.
Absolutely. I mean, there's nothing more deadlier than an angry running back, a guy who is determined to prove himself, a guy who has just been cast off by another team and just, thrown to the wind and not given an opportunity. So I just feel like whenever you can plug a guy into a situation like that, he's desperate, he's fighting for his job, and he wants to prove to an organization that he belongs. There's nothing deadlier than that.
I think Dave, or maybe it was Luke, they talked to Trevor Harris, and we're like, hey, in the huddle, because he hasn't been here more than a couple days, learning the playbook, all that. So take us in as a quarterback in the huddle when you have a guy that hasn't been around that much. He probably knows the gaps and the holes. Are you just taking that extra couple seconds to say, all right, do you got it? Are you sure you know what we're doing here?
Absolutely. You have to simplify things. That's first and foremost. You have to make sure that you're on the same page with your running back, especially in the pass game. But whenever you can hand the ball off to him, he's getting 5, 6, 7 yards on first down, making things so much easier for the offense. It just allows that flow. You can get out of the huddle quicker. Trevor now has time to see what the defense is doing. He has time to, whisper, not necessarily whisper, but talk to Armstead and let him know what to do on each play, because you've broken the huddle faster. You have those few extra seconds to at the line of scrimmage to make calls. So it makes it easier when you're running the ball and you can just, control the clock like that.
Darian, do you ever remember another guy coming in like that with literally 1 day or 2 days of practice and having such an impact on a team and how they performed within that game?
Not really, man. This was a standoff performance by Armstead. I mean, for him not to have many practices at all, for him and for him to produce like he did, and you could see in that fourth quarter he was a little winded because he hadn't had those reps. When the cameras got on him, he needed a blow. So I haven't seen this. This is a rare situation, and but like I said last week, if there's one position that can just come in without much practice and not much knowledge of the playbook, it's a running back, because most of the time, even numbers go to the right, odd numbers go to the left. It's not that hard. It's the pass protection that you worry about with the verbiage. But, I'm sure Coach Mueller, who's a former athlete himself, he knows how to break things down and simplify things and put guys in situations where it's easy for them to pick up.
So how big of a bee in the bonnet do you think it is to the Ottawa Redblacks that he went out and ripped off 207 yards and they got to face him this week?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's something as a GM you don't want to see. You don't want to see the guy that you let go and have success with another organization. That's tough. That has to be tough for a GM and a head coach. But, these things happen all the time in sports, and you just never know. Some guys do better in different situations, and, another thing that I noticed is just more opportunities. When you can get the ball 20, 25 times, you have more opportunities to break off long runs and to, get those stats. So for him to come to Saskatchewan in this situation, this part of the season when, I've been mentioning this for weeks, this is the time when you want to run the ball. This is the time when the most physical team can just impose their will on, the other team. You see what Winnipeg is doing with Oliveira and the winning streak that they're on, because they've decided to just run the ball and take the ball out of the hands of Zach Calero. So, the situations matter, and this just seems like the perfect situation for Armstead.
What are you thinking when you see Trevor Harris get up and gallop there? Obviously a little bit slower than you would have been back there. But, hey, 17 yards total. His longest was 14, had a touchdown. Like I said earlier in the show, I looked at it and I'm like, whoa, our leader's playing desperate football here. This is great.
Yeah, this is playoff time. This is playoff. You're fighting for position. These games are going to be playoff-like atmospheres. So there's no time to save yourself. You know, if you don't make plays here and there, you could be home come November. So you see that in Trevor. You see, and when guys see that, your teammates, they see Trevor laying it all on the line. That makes them want to play that much harder. So, this is the time of the year where you have to do whatever it takes to make plays and try to get these W's.
You know, I thought Trevor did a really good job. What did he end up, 16 or 18? Like, he didn't have to throw the ball a ton, but he did a really good job of using those receivers. Had some great yardage and some great throws downfield. What do we expect to see now against Ottawa this week? Do you expect the same sort of look from this Rider offense?
Absolutely. You have to be able to run the ball this time of the year. I mean, I understand that it's going to be a nice game, nice weather out there this week, but you have to impose your will. You have to make it easier for Trevor. When Trevor's throwing the ball 35 to 45 times a game, you're putting yourself in situations where there's room for error. And if you can turn around and hand the ball off to a running back, defenses now have to stack the box. Now you can predict coverage. You know what's going on, and that opens up the passes down the field. I mean, you saw, I think this was the most rushing yards that, the Riders have had since 2013. And a lot of that year with Corey Sheets, I was able to just see what the defense is doing. There's no disguising. You now have to load the box to stop the run, and you saw that from Calgary. And Trevor didn't have to do much. There's not much thinking goes into it as a quarterback when the team is loading the box. Is a very few coverages that they can play.
I was talking to your boy Luke on Friday before the game, and it's just like, Riders need to get to that second and manageable, right, where that run does. What for you, Darian, what was that number? Was it 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4, where it really opened up more of the playbook, that short stuff, the run was still there? What was that for you?
I think it's anywhere between 2nd and 4 to 6 is where, you can kind of figure out the tendency to the defense. A lot of defenses, when it's 7 or more, that's when you can disguise coverages. That's when you see a lot more zone coverage. But whenever it's 2nd and medium, what we like to call it, between 4 to 6 yards, you're very predictable. You know what you're going to see. And not only that, if you have a good run game and it's 2nd and 4, you can actually run the ball and get 3 yards, knowing that you can put yourself in a third down situation where you can sneak and get a first down.
Okay, let's shift to the NFL.
Oh.
Sharky's a Cowboys fan.
Oh, Sharky's in a bad mood.
Sharky's in a bad place. Sharky's a Cowboy fan.
Sharky's in a bad place, man.
I don't know what's the deal there. Like, really, like, you look at what Baltimore did to them. Is it not that even New York this Thursday, who's hot garbage, the playbook's got to be just run on Dallas, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Dallas, the past drafts that they've had, they haven't really addressed the linebacker position. And that's so key in, your run game fits, guys who have instincts of how to blitz, when to blitz, how to, see run game. So people, linebacker has been such an undervalued position over the last few years. And then even with Dallas, you see them playing safeties at linebacker, over the course of the past 2 years trying to stop the run. So I just think that they haven't really put much emphasis on it. And not only that, when you paying guys, so when you have to pay your quarterback and he wants top dollar, and then your receivers want top dollar, and then if you look at their offensive line over the past couple of years, they all wanted top dollar. It makes it so hard to fill in those important positions on defense. So I just think that with the money that these offensive guys are taking up, you can't really pay guys on the defensive line and linebackers to come in and stop the run. So I think it's a salary cap issue that they have.
What I'm getting out of you, Darian, on this is they have a terrible general manager. That's what I'm hearing from you, is that it might
Well,
start
I mean,
with the GM.
you see over the past 30 years with Jerry Jones in charge, not much success. There's been a lot of heartbreak. So, and I'm not saying he's terrible because he's had some great drafts, and there's been a ton of talent on that team. But, it's just little things that we're missing here. And I say we because my brother played for the Cowboys as well. So
Yeah,
I have
exactly.
my heart is in it a little bit too. But, it's just something missing there.
Okay, so let's take the Chiefs aside because the Chiefs are the Chiefs, and you never know what calls you're going to get and all that. This is scary. Okay, so we got the Steelers, the Seahawks, and the Vikings at 3-0. What 3-0 team there do you think's for real?
Man, I have to go with the Vikings. I'm just so shocked at what they've been able to do. They have the top receiver in the league. They addressed some issues on the defensive line, in the draft. And, I've always believed in Sam Darnold. I think that with him being drafted by the Jets, usually when you're a top draft pick, you go to a very bad team. And, you're not going to have a lot of success early. And for him to, start with the Jets, then go to San Francisco and learn from Kyle Shanahan. And now he's in Minnesota with the best receiver in the league. They have so much talent. They added Aaron Jones in the backfield. They're so balanced. And he's a pretty good quarterback, man. I've always thought that him coming out of USC, I've admired his game. So I think that he's in the perfect situation, and they're well coached. And they're balanced. And, you see that with them, dispersing their money opposite of the Cowboys. They paid the receiver, but they have so many other guys that they've been able to just keep and build around on that team. You can see the success that they're having.
Okay, last one. I'm already pot committed now. I've bet on it. I really actually got to go find your guy. That he says he's got a bookie. There's still bookies down.
I'll bet he's got a guy.
That would be fun. It'd be dangerous for me.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, how much do I owe you?
You have a slight addiction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any chance that Jacksonville can pull it out in Buffalo tonight? I took Jacksonville for some reason, but then again, I took Carolina in Vegas.
Oh, that was a good pick. I mean, I'm sure. There were a couple games. I don't think anyone saw. Minnesota beating
Houston the way they did.
Right.
Nope.
Yeah, and the Rams beat the San Francisco 49ers. So there were a couple upsets, and I don't know about Jacksonville, man. They just haven't been able to put it together. They haven't scored a lot of points. But with the way this week has been going, it may not be a bad bet.
Okay, what's crazier? Jacksonville beating Buffalo or Washington upsetting Cincy?
Would Washington upsetting? Would Washington over Cincinnati be an upset? Cincinnati's sitting at 0-2.
Oh, really?
7-point dog.
I don't know. I mean, that's Vegas, But Washington has shown flashes, and they have a win, which is hard to come by in the NFL. But I think the bigger upset would definitely be Jacksonville going up to Buffalo and winning. We all know that Buffalo's a tough place to play, and it'll be hard for them to do that.
Okay, before we let you go, I lied. We got Dale and Melfort, and the only reason I'm going to throw this out because I love Melfort. Great. You play the golf course there ever?
Yeah.
Great little track.
I'll be there Thursday, as a matter of fact.
Al Blevins, great guy. Rest in peace. I loved Blevs. Okay, he wanted to know, Darian, Ottawa is likely going to really be getting under Armstead's skin. As a quarterback, do you talk to your tailback and let him know to keep his cool?
Yeah, you have to. He's going to be fired up. I'm sure he was bitter and has a ton of animosity about the way things ended there. So you have to tell him to keep his cool. And the team is leaning on him, right? This is another must-win situation for the Riders, and you don't need him to be fiery and get an unnecessary penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct or something like that. Let your play do the talking in situations like this. Go out there, run for 150, 200 yards again to show them what they're missing. You don't need to hit a guy in his face and get a bad penalty at a bad situation and cause your team the game.
Okay. Do you want to throw a prediction out this week?
Absolutely. I'm with the Riders. As you can see, I'm with the Riders.
Yeah, okay. All right.
100% this week. They've definitely shown. I was surprised by that run game. And if they can keep that up this time of the year, it's very important. And Armstead definitely showed me that he's capable. So I'm going with the Riders. I think Ottawa has way too many injuries, and the Riders being at home must win. I think they get this one for sure.
All right. Love it. Doubles. Next week, Monday, here's a holiday, so let's catch up maybe next Tuesday.
Monday,
Sounds
here's
good.
a holiday?
Thanks, guys.
Right on. That's Double Talk with Darian Durant. If you're watching on the stream, Truth and Reconciliation Day.
Oh.
Yeah. Come on, Sharky. Get with it.
Oh, my goodness.
We're not on. Yeah, no, we got to take that day. That's why, hey, new Indigenous design logo.
Got it.
The Riders that we were talking about off the start of the show. You probably, what is it, 5:25 now driving home?
If you missed it.
Yeah, it is a nice logo.
It's a great logo.
Saskatchewan Roughriders are debuting their new Indigenous design logo. How did Dave say the name? Kisaskoin?
Kisaskoin. Yeah, Kisaskoin.
Yeah, it is nice. Designed by Chris Chipak of the Red Pheasant Cree Nation up in Treaty 6. It is a nice logo. It's going to be all over the helmets and
lots of gear. All the gear's available at the store. Pick it up.
Yeah, he said you can pre-order it.
Yeah,
David.
It's a good looking logo. They did a really nice job, and congratulations to Chris on bringing that forward.
Very, very nice. It is the all-new Sports Cage. If you're watching the stream at sportscage.com. And as always, we're on 620 CKRM.
The all-new Sports Cage is brought to you by Busy Bee Doors. Busy Bee will repair or replace your residential or commercial garage doors so you don't get stuck in or out. Catch the buzz. Busy Bee Doors, the garage door specialists.
620 CKRM is your home to country's greatest hits and the 90s at 9. 1 full hour featuring the biggest hits of the 90s. Garth, Reba, Alan, Shania, George, and so much more. No cassette tape or CDs required, and 90s mullets are optional. 90s at 9 for the town of Wolseley and the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM.
When you have a big job on the go, always head to Prairieland Rental for everything from skid steers to excavators to jackhammers. You'll get everything done with equipment just from Prairieland. You won't need to go anywhere else. And at Prairieland, you deal directly with the owner. They're very local and very Sask. They appreciate your local business and they've got everything you need for your projects. They'll even deliver. Prairieland Rental, 600 Albert Street. PrairielandRental.com.
Sask Power is working to improve the power system in your area. In order to do their work safely, they need to shut the power off for rural customers northeast of Abbey and surrounding communities from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. tomorrow, September 24th, weather permitting. Again, the power will be out for 5 hours tomorrow from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. for rural customers northeast of Abbey and surrounding communities. For updates on this outage, visit saskpower.com/outages.
Your finances change as life changes, like when you get married, start a new job, or welcome a new member to your family. Each one of these milestones comes with their own unique financial challenges. We're here to help you make sense of them and keep you on the path to meet your goals. Hi, I'm Douglas Stroud, your Sun Life advisor. Call me at 306-550-5331 or email douglas.stroud@sunlife.com. We're here to help navigate life's changes.
Hey Rider Nation, this is Dave Thomas, voice of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Listen to this. How does a 50-50 payday sound? Sounds like a win to me. Huddle up to riders5050.ca and you can purchase 50-50 tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can even score quickly with the early bird prize. This week it's $2,500 cash and you'll be in for the massive weekly jackpots. Buy now at riders5050.ca and support amateur football in Saskatchewan. Sponsored by ISC. License LR2426.
Whether Smokies after you or not, when you're on the road in your big rig, you're in a hurry to get to where you're going, and you need a part shop you can trust. Wolf Industries is the premium choice. They're your family-run truck mechanic shop with a full line of parts for big semis, with certified AC technicians for the hot summer. Stop in at their Grenfell location for all the parts and repairs you need. They're SGI accredited for safety inspections and have 24-hour emergency call-out. Wolf Industries, the best for your truck. 10-4.
At McDougall Auctioneers, we're not just selling heavy equipment, we're powering progress. Hi, This is Riley McChesney. Our online auctions bring together the best machinery and the biggest network of buyers. Whether it's construction marvels or industrial giants, we sell with expertise and a commitment to value. Choose McDougall Auctioneers for auctions that move as fast as your business does. McDougall Auctioneers, 1-800-263-4193, or visit us at mcdougallauction.com.
The all-new Sports Cage continues. You can watch our live stream at sportscage.com and always on the radio. Saskatchewan's voice for local sports, 620 CKRM.
Welcome back on Monday. Shink, Sharky, Colson, and Curtis with us today. Okay, clutch performer. For Nick Service in Emerald Park, your local Massey Ferguson, Challenger, Rogator, and Fent dealer. Call everyone at Nick Service. We're going to the SJHL.
Do yours. I'll do the other one.
Jaron Denwaye, captain for the Yorkton Terriers. What a weekend.
Yeah, he did.
5 goals, 3 assists, 8 points.
In 2 games.
4 goals in the home opener versus Weyburn. So, yeah, Jaron, good on you out there in Yorkton. He is our clutch performer, but Sharky's got a second one.
The 1A of our clutch performers is our extremely valuable and fine members of the Regina Police Service that took down a perpetrator right here on Rose Street in front of our operation. And he had to go by ambulance. I believe the bike he was on was struck as he was trying to leave the scene. So he left in an ambulance, the perpetrator.
Yeah.
He was to the gurney.
He wasn't a good guy.
No, bad dude. But thank you to the RPS.
RPS, unbelievable. Thanks to them for everything they do. And obviously thanks to Nick Service and Emerald Park, the sponsor of the Clutch Performer. Do we want to go to him right now? Can we do that? Curtis, can we work on the fly here? Live radio and live streaming?
Can we make things up as we go along?
Let's do it. Let's go out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. It's Western Pizza night. Monday Night Football. There's 2 games on. One is starting momentarily. Oh, there I said it. Momentarily. And the other one starts a little bit later. U of R Rams, they weren't on 620 CKRM because we had the Pats, we had Rise, we had so much going on. But they're back on this weekend with this gentleman right here, Brennan McGuire. They are in Manitoba Saturday. The pregame show is at 3:45, and the play-by-play starts at 4. All right, McGuire, this ain't good. This Ramsville, we were riding high. We've dropped 2 games. What happened in Alberta? I heard Alberta's running game was just next level.
Yeah, I think that they are offensive line U over there. Like, they've got Chris Morris, the head coach. He was pretty good O-lineman with the Edmonton Eskimos from 92 to 2005, won 3 Grey Cups. He's blocked for some pretty good quarterbacks, and they have a lot of good O-linemen there. So it seems like he's made that as part of their DNA coaching at the University of Alberta. It's funny, the Riders don't seem to have that same DNA, and they've got an O-lineman who's a GM. Maybe O'Day needs to coach, not be the GM, but that's a whole other discussion.
Ball of wax. Here's our ball of wax brought to you by... No.
Let me throw this into the middle of the pile and see what burns. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, though, like, what did they do? Are they just that? They just push, they bully people, basically, the Alberta offensive line?
I don't think the Rams were ready for it. On their first off session, it was 2 and out, couple pass plays. You could tell that Alberta was deliberately trying to play clock ball. And you see teams in the NFL better than anybody else. We've heard the story. Well, you're a Patriots guy, aren't you? There's the legendary story of the wide right Super Bowl when the Bills lost to the Giants. Because Parcells and Bill Belichick said, we're going to shorten the game and pound the ball, and they did, and they shortened it. Well, that's what Alberta does. They did it to the Rams. I think the time of possession difference was 13 minutes. But it was really astonishing to see the Rams' run defense get beat up like that. Because after week 1 in Calgary, they kept Matt Clark, who's supposed to be a good running back for the Dinos, to I think it was 20 yards. And just bottled him up. Like, they tried running and they couldn't. And then in game number 2, they beat the Huskies, who have a really good run game. And they did okay, but they didn't do anything special. So the Rams had the second best run defense in all of Canada. Some after week 2, only Bishop's down east was better. Then in Game 3, they lost to UBC against a great running back. But it was really disturbing that UBC was able to run the ball late in the game when everybody knew they were going to run the ball. They couldn't stop them. And then in the Alberta game, boy, did they get smacked around bad. They just had no answer. And the number one running back got hurt, and then he went down, and the backup came in, and they didn't do much better.
This week they go into Winnipeg and face the Bisons. What's so special about the Bisons that they're 4-0? Are they for real, or have they just been able to turn the corner on a couple of key times?
Well, I predicted that they would be last on this show at the start of the year. So, of course, I don't think they're. I think they're right for the pick. No, but it's funny. Look at all the categories and you watch the. They played some really close. I actually think that they are not as good as their 4-0 record. I believe that. And I'm not just saying that. I made that preseason prediction. They beat UBC at the start. UBC is much better today than they were at the start. They got a really good lead on the Huskies, and the Huskies couldn't come back. But when I watched this last game against the Dinos, it was funny. It was on Saturday, and I'm in Saskatoon. We're going to this house party, and it was at this new house. Woo! It was a $3 million house, I'm guessing. It's probably the nicest house I've ever been in. Might be one of the nicest in Saskatoon. I'm sure there's some nicer ones.
Fancy drinks.
Yeah.
So we get in. And our hosts are in, and everybody's wearing collared shirts and everything. And I've got my face buried in my phone watching the final play of this Calgary-Manitoba game because it was such a good game. The Dinos looked like they might have the game-winning touchdown, but they said his foot was out of bounds. Like, it was an amazing play. My point is that Manitoba's not blowing anybody out. Their quarterback's not very good. I don't think their quarterback's anything better than what the Rams have. Their defense has been very bend but don't break. And that's what's been carrying them the whole way. So what's exciting about this for me from a Rams perspective, and I'm just a fan like everybody else, is the fact that they have a very unique opportunity here to burst the bubble of that undefeated start for Manitoba. And I think they can do it.
I like that. I like it. You can hear it right here on 620 CKRM with Brendan McGuire, 3:45 pregame show on Saturday. And then 4 o'clock is the play-by-play. All right, McGuire, we'll let you go. Thanks so much for this. And off to you got more fancy parties this week?
Yeah.
Any
collared shirts? Wow, that was a fancy one.
Almost 3 in the morning. The first time I've done that in about 3 years. No, probably longer since before the pandemic. And I'm feeling it today. So I'm
all right. Well, go get some sleep. Watch football.
Rest up. Get ready.
It's Brendan McGuire, voice of the Regina Rams here on 620 CK. I went and partied with the Kardashians of Saskatoon.
Wow.
Apparently on the weekend.
Probably didn't use red Solo cups at that one.
No.
Sounds like there might have been crystal glassware.
Martini glasses, different kind of martinis.
Yes. Ooh.
Right?
Pretty fancy.
Not a big martini guy, except, have you ever had an espresso martini?
Yes.
The espresso martini does two things. It's got, if you want to get where you need to go in a hurry, it's the concentrated alcohol. It's
your stimulant and your depressant all together in one.
And it really picks you up.
Yeah.
You can keep rocking.
Beautiful cocktail.
For a few, instead of doing the Red Bull something or other or something like that, which I'm not a fan, but that espresso martini, it's really made a resurgence, or I don't know if it was ever a thing, but it seems like it's one of the fancy things to drink.
It's a growing trend. That's what
tequila is. A lot of the fancy people are, it's like, I drink tequila. Yeah. Probably that house that he was at, the big $3 million house, there was a lot of people being like, because it's trendy. People like to tequila.
Would have been the expensive tequila, too.
Yeah, I can't do tequila, to be honest with you, man.
Wouldn't have been much Cuervo Gold there.
Yeah, or that. No, I'm. Give me some Last Mountain gin. Last Mountain Distillery, they make unbelievable gin.
You like that, do you?
Yeah, they have a basil lime one.
Ooh.
Little soda, little splash of Fresca. Nice and light.
That's what I see you on the golf course with.
I call it a Wednesday. Men's night, Wednesday. So
do they know when you go to the course? They know?
Usually. There's a couple that are like, what? Like, well, I've only played here for 8 years.
I'm going to have to look for that next time out.
Ask for a Wednesday if you're out there, yeah. We also give cocktail suggestions here on the all-new Sportscage. It's a lot of fun. To get you, pick the score. How much time do we got left, Colson? You're the boss of this.
You're running this show,
let's
Colson.
say
What are
we
we
got
doing?
about 10 minutes?
10, 12
10 minutes left to get in your pick the score. 936 62 62. I like when people send where they are as well. I had to get Dale's, like I said, I had to get Dale's question in there for doubles. He's up in Melfort. Never played that track?
Yes, I have.
It's a good little golf course.
Yeah, pretty flat. Not a lot of undulation.
No, you can walk it easy.
Yeah.
It's an easy walk. Same with the Royal. But yeah, it can come bite you. It can definitely bite you. I've
got some trouble.
I've hit the, what's the one on the back there? I've hit it into the farmer's field. And then the other one, I hit it into the farmer's field.
Can you imagine if he bails when he gets through the baler?
I've probably put a couple on that one near the Smitty's, if the Smitty's is still there.
I don't think the Smitty's is still there. I think the Smitty's is gone.
Man.
Be there Thursday.
Melfort?
Yeah.
Oh, are the Mustangs playing?
I have no idea. I have to end the night in Tisdale.
The land of rape and honey.
Yes.
Is it still known as that?
No, they've changed the.
That was one of the best commercials.
Changed the logo of the name or the logo of the town. Yeah,
one of the best commercials of our childhood, and people out there that they'll remember it right now. In Tisdale, the land of rape and honey. I think that's how it went. And then Melfort had the City of Northern Lights, and it was almost like they would compete on the local television channels. Like, well, hey, they bought this package. They're going to be on this much more than you.
Yeah.
Then the Melfort people are like, we cannot stand for that. We got the Northern Lights Palace.
So to be clear, let's make it clear what the land of rape and honey was. Rapeseed was what they call canola seed now. Right?
Yes.
So when they said that, it wasn't the negative connotation you might think it was.
I hope people are a little more highbrow that listen to this program than that.
Some are, some aren't. Some are new to right? It hasn't been called rapeseed for a long time. It's been called canola seed for a long time.
Yes. They do not play. Did you say Thursday, Melfort?
Thursday, yes.
Maybe the Tisdale Trojans are in action.
Could be. Yep.
Yeah, let me know if Hannigan's Hamburgers still open in Tisdale.
I'll look it up.
Oh, you're taking me back now. So many good little Sasky things out and about in this province, just like this program, if you're watching it on sportscage.com and on 620 CKRM.
SaskPower is working to improve the power system in your area. In order to do their work safely, they need to shut the power off for customers in Pelly, on the north end of town, and surrounding communities from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. tomorrow, September 24th, weather permitting. Again, the power will be out for 8 hours tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. for customers in Pelly on the north end of town. For updates on this outage, visit saskpower.com/outages.
Winter brings tougher driving weather, and that means it's time to winter up those tires on your vehicle. Regina Motor Products has got an offer that will make your ride safer and your wallet happier. Before you hit the snowy open road, get your tires swapped for winter with rebates as high as $120 off a full set of winter tires. You don't want to wait. Book now and be ready for all that cold stuff. Visit rmpchevrolet.com.
It's been a long day. I don't want to cook. I'm going to surprise the family with a pizza night. I'll be a hero. My family might actually pick me up in celebration and carry me around the kitchen, and they'll chant my name, and I'll be celebrated until the end of time when I...
This isn't Western Pizza. I thought you loved us.
Don't pizza fail. Get what they want. It's gotta be Western Pizza. Big on toppings, big on taste.
And get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
APAS is there when you can't be. As farmers and ranchers, you need to fight increasing costs and regulation. But how are you supposed to be everywhere at once? You're busy with harvest, so you don't have time for meetings with politicians, presentations to committees, and tracking legislation that will affect your farm. This is where APAS comes in. Your APAS representative, the APAS Board of Directors, and the Canadian Federation of Agriculture all work together to represent you. APAS is there when you can't be. Visit apas.ca and become a member today.
This is Roy Rutledge at the Weyburn Livestock Exchange. Our next cattle sale here in Weyburn is this Wednesday, September 25th. This will be a regular sale of cull cows and cull bulls, both of which are selling well. probably because there are not many on the market yet. If you have butcher cows or bulls to market at this time of year, this will be the sale to bring them to. Just call the Weyburn Livestock Exchange to get them booked in. Call us at 842-4574. Then next Monday, September 30th, we will be having a pre-sorted calf sale featuring mainly Semadol and Charlie Cross calves. It is that time of year, again, when the fall run is starting. It is the first calf sale, and it is not full, but it probably won't fill up because it's so early in the fall. But prices are good, and some of the later sales are full already. October 23rd and 28th and November 4th are all full already. To book your cattle, call the Weyburn Livestock Exchange at 842-4574.
This summer, if you're thinking of a new building, think Olympic Buildings. They're engineered from top to bottom to be better than the rest. Strength, solid design, and impressive good looks are all standard on an Olympic farm building. Visit olympic-buildings.ca.
We love Saskatchewan, and we love hearing from our listeners. Call or text us, 306-936-6262. Driven by Capital Ford Lincoln, Saskatchewan's #1 Ford retailer. CapitalFordLincoln.com on 620 CKRM.
The all-new Sports Cage. Text 306-936-6262. 620 CKRM.
All right, welcome back to the all-new Sports Cage. Is Shank and Sharky. No, let's go the high school. Let's go high school route here. Sorry, changing on the fly. Friday Night Lights. This is the deal, people out there. Hopefully, if you're cruising home right now, especially if you are out of town, because I love the out of town. There it is. Small Town Friday Night Lights. hi@sportscage.com is the email address. hi@sportscage.com. We would like you to email in what are the games around that we should promote this Friday. And it is always for Regina Motor Products now. Take advantage of their winter tire swap. Save $20 off the old winter tire swap.
That's a good deal.
Which is coming up as much as we don't want to admit it around here. So if you like high school football, amateur football, take your tires to Regina Motor Products this season and get them swapped over. Now, I'm just looking at some of the schedules here. And I don't know if I can trust the website where I printed this off. So if we're wrong, because in the, what is it, in the one, give me a sec here. We have games, yeah, right here. Okay. Tuesday, September 24th, which is tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
This is it. What the schedule I printed off says. We got Weyburn hosting Moose Jaw Peacock. We have Balgony.
Isn't that called Cotfield down there?
Home in Weyburn?
Yeah.
It doesn't say.
I think so.
It just says Weyburn.
Okay.
We have Balgony home to Yorkton Regional. That's at Libel Field.
I was going to say that'd be here in town. Yep.
And then Swift Current welcomes Estevan in Swift Current. They got 3 games scheduled for tomorrow, September 24th.
That's all in that same league too.
It is all in the same league,
right? Yeah.
And then they go Saturday. Talk about short week for these kids.
Holy smokes!
Then they go back. So I don't know if this schedule is totally correct.
Hey, how did things work out in Cupar Chili Night? Did we hear?
Cupar
we get photos?
Rolled. Yeah, we got lots of photos. We got a video. If you're on social media, you'd be able to see
that?
it.
What is social media?
It's MySpace.
That's for young people.
Get a MySpace account.
It's for all the kids.
It was a video, and it looked awesome. That portable. So then you weren't here. Shaunavon has the portable lights as well. Shaunavon played Maple Creek, and we called down there, and they're like, "Yeah, we got the portable lights down here as well." So this Friday night, like football under the lights in these small towns is becoming a thing. It's so awesome.
Well, portable lights are much easier to do than they ever were before. Yeah, and they're really good.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of them up close?
The portable lights?
Yeah, like how do they transport them around? Flatbed?
Yeah, they're just in a tower. Just pop them up.
Wynyard, Lanigan, Ituna, Southey. What else do we got rolling around the area? We got Maple Creek, Moose Jaw, Vanier, Gull Lake, Shaunavon. Ooh, that is scheduled
That's
again.
That's a big highway rivalry
Friday,
there.
They don't like each other.
No.
They do not like each other. The Shaunavon Shadows and the Gull Lake Lions. Gull Lake Lions. I remembered it.
Look at you. Shaunavon Shadows?
Shaunavon Shadows.
Really?
Yeah, they're good. They had a good basketball program down there, too, sometimes. Lots of good athletes in that southwest Saskatchewan. So let us know.
Different name.
Hi at sportscage.com. I like it.
I didn't say it was bad. I just said it was different.
Yeah, I just like the uniqueness of it all. We should have a poll one day. Best high school team name.
We should have a poll. Let's get that going. How do we?
With the most unique.
Colson, how do we start
ones.
a poll? You can do that, can't you? You're like the tech guy.
We're a little late today to do it, but maybe you can keep that in the old noodle, and we can run it the next time. But yeah, I would, and we can go cities, we can go towns, we can go everything. Best, and to get people to vote on it.
What was Brit? Redmond?
Yeah, it's no longer Redmond, though.
What are they called now?
Red Hawks.
Red Hawks? Okay.
Yeah. But somebody said that Maple Creek stayed Redmond because the First Nations...
Nicanete said, yeah.
They said, keep it. Mm-hmm. We want you to keep it. Somebody texted that in last week.
Yep.
And then I'm trying to think of the other ones that I know. Well, Saskatoon. We have Evan Hardy Souls.
Is that a Catholic school?
No, public. I'll go with Eastside first. Holy Cross Crusaders, St. Joe's Guardians.
I think so.
Walter Murray Marauders. Then we had on the west side Mount Royal Mustangs, Edie Fian Trojans, Bishop James Mahoney Saints, Marion Graham Falcons. And then now there's another new school there that I don't even know the name. So old I am. But so not a ton of unique. Souls would probably be the most unique one. And I've always despised the Souls because they beat us out.
I think in Regina, the most unique one would be Golden Suns.
That, here, the boldest Golden Suns came up to play Bedford in the provincial final in 1998. And Bedford had, you guys weren't even alive. I know.
Yeah.
You'll get old one day, too.
I was alive.
You were 2 or something, right?
Probably 1.
And, it was Leboldus that came up, and Leboldus was good, and Bedford had no business being in the provincial finals. It's a small school. Like, when our grade 12 year was the last time that they were ranked anywhere remotely high, but we kind of choked. Sarge left us to Evan Hardy. So Bedford in 98 plays, and then all of a sudden this Leboldus Golden Suns rolled in to Gordie Howe Bowl. It was cold. And I'm like, are those cool uniforms? Are those like it's just the color? That's the name. Yeah. I've always been a bit of a jersey geek, and and they were good. But Kelly Bowers, rest in peace, who was an absolute icon in high school sports in Saskatoon, coached this Bedford Road Redmond team to a provincial championship.
Nice.
Over Leboldus.
In 98, you say?
Yeah, the field was awful. Gordie Howe Bowl, and it was always grass. And then if it would snow...
It was mud.
Nope. So it would... Yeah. And the Hilltops had to play on it, too. So it would snow, and the city of Saskatoon, and I don't know if it's because of,
attitude, budgets, whatever.
Or just give a, what meter.
Give a crap.
They would scrape the snow... But that would also scrape all the grass. So
the guy managing the park didn't know there was grass under the snow, and he should do his best.
They did, but I don't think they really cared. So then, picture a grass with like just patchy, and it was always awesome grass until the fall.
Yeah.
So then this hard ground is basically like the Country Thunder.
Yeah, it was parking. And it was a mud bowl too.
If it got really muddy, but if not, then it was just a hard parking lot.
Do they have artificial turf on that field?
They do now.
They do. Yeah,
it's in the bowl. It's a great setting, great venue. But the one year the Hilltops had to play Kelowna in the national final
in the mud. In the dirt bowl.
There was no mud. It was so cold, and there was no grass. So it was a dirt field. Think about how hard dirt would be in like minus 10 degrees. And they just painted lines on it.
On the dirt. Yeah.
It was such a bad luck. And these kids from Kelowna roll in, highlights in their hair, their
and their shorts,
eating peaches that they picked in their backyard earlier that week. And they were like, what is this? And they didn't have, and like footing becomes such an issue. What do you wear? Oh, you can't wear studs. Even the shark, everything was slippery, so you almost had to go to like a runner. Probably the best thing you could have wore on that was old golf shoes, like spiked golf shoes.
That would have helped. Yeah,
you would look
those
like
old track and field shoes with little spikes on them. Yeah,
you would look like an absolute clown.
You would,
but you might have the best grip.
You might be able to stand up.
It was so bad, and then fine. But field turf's expensive. But I'm surprised that both cities, Saskatoon and Regina, don't have more field turf.
I'm surprised too, and we go back to that arena issue we discussed about earlier in private arenas, and I'm surprised there isn't more facilities like that, field turf or some kind of artificial turf, so that kids can play on without being in the mud or the grass or the rain. Or it's just there's better scenarios for that product than what kids have today.
The
on the
thing
on the
that
dirt.
I learned when I moved to Regina, and I'd played in the men's league, and then now my kids are doing it, is they shut the fields down here.
Yeah.
Like there's a field number that you call and it's like, we're not playing tonight, fields are closed. And I was like, come again? What? I'm like, yeah, no, the city closed the fields.
Yep.
And I'm like, but they're fields. We live in Saskatchewan. They're going to get wet and we only have 3 months.
Yeah.
No, they close the fields.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who makes the arbitrary call on that? Because if it rains in the south,
well, it's obviously not the guy in Saskatoon who cleared the snow off and all the grass at the same time.
It could be totally clear and no rain in the north, or it rains in the north and it could be perfect at the university or wherever. And I'm like, no, they just closed the whole city, fields. And I'm like, wow, okay. So I've learned that
big
living
call.
here.
Big call.
Big. That's what I mean. I'd like to have that guy on the program one day.
We should find out who he is. Can we call the city? Can you get that guy at the city on?
Yeah.
Can you find him?
Do you go and walk the fields? What fields? How many fields do you walk? How do you check it out? What's the game? Because in Regina, what I've learned too is some areas are very low and water doesn't drain very well. Was it Gumbo?
Yes, there's Gumbo.
And then up in the northwest where I am, everything drains a little better. It's higher up.
Well, it flows downhill to us.
That
yes.
is, yeah.
That's right.
That is, so I've learned that.
Other team names that I like, the Yorkton, and their logo, the Yorkton Raiders.
I don't know.
The regional high school Raiders.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They got a cool logo, like kind of a Yosemite Sam sort of character. Yeah.
I've always liked Moose Jaw Peacock's colors. The orange, green.
That's like the Carolina Fighting Gamecocks, right? Isn't that the purple?
No,
and right?
I think it'd be more like Miami Hurricanes.
Okay, I got you.
All right, good show. Let's do it again next week. Don't forget Monday's a holiday.
Yeah, apparently. Well, for you anyway. I think I still got to go to work.
I won't. I think we're off here. So,
and you're off to Nashville,
Tennessee on Wednesday. It's supposed to rain a lot.
Oh, too bad for you.
Find a tavern that can help out there. Yeah, no, so it'll be fun. Colson, thanks so much. Curtis, thanks so much. Always a pleasure. We're back tomorrow. It's the all-new Sportscage. If you're watching the stream, thanks so much. Make sure you subscribe on the YouTube channel, and we will talk to you again tomorrow.
Hey, Rider Nation, this is Dave Thomas, voice of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Listen to this. How does a 50-50 payday sound? Sounds like a win to me. Huddle up to riders5050.ca, and you can purchase 50-50